Why, hello everyone, and welcome to our Skeptic Bible Study episode, Aaron's. Yes.
Not his magic rod?
Serpent. Oh man, I was gonna say he had such a high rise, and then it always comes with a fall, James. It always comes with a fall.
Yeah, it's true.
And he was doing literally the Lord's work. A lot of people say the Lord's work. He has empirical evidence, apparently, that he was doing the Lord's work. When people are like, are you doing the Lord's work? He's like, fuck, I've been doing it for so... He
God's
won't
been
let me
busting his
go.
balls.
He's been busting my butt. He has a quota. But yes, also, a fiery serpent. The VFX budget is finally coming through. Pew.
Is that the fiery serpent encircling the earth? Same one?
James, it could be. Though I still never got a clarifying answer from that dude.
Okay.
If the snake is orbiting the earth, and yet part of his evidence that it's orbiting the earth is that there is its dead body on earth.
Maybe you shed its skin. Snakes shed their skin, so...
There you go, James. It's
maybe,
just that skin. That fiery skin.
I wonder if did this snake have legs like the original snakes, or was this like one of the re-engineered snakes? Like redesigned?
We built him. We made him better, which would probably just be another form of a lizard if you gave him legs, or a reptile.
Oh, legless lizard.
A legless lizard. And they don't need legs. Once again, that is the arrogance of human beings. We look at a snake and we're like,
must suck not to have legs.
I know. We're like, our legs are so awesome. It must totally
we like our legs.
Suck to not have legs. Yeah, if we lost our legs, it would totally suck.
Devastating.
But a snake has a locomotion in which it's actually able to easily maneuver around. Gets by just fine without legs.
Can you imagine trying to hold that whole body up on legs? That would be a bitch.
Would be. Yeah. I was trying to make a pun. I was like, that'd be an anaconda, but that made no sense. Anyway, also, the edge of a sword. Yeah, baby. Ching, ding, 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 ding.
Ding dong, the witch is
dead. The witch is dead.
What happened to poor Amaretto?
Look, we're not saying that the Christians kind of went out and burned witches, but burning witches. Anyway, as the Israelites take many cities by the sword, so come join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, as we swing into the fourth book of the Bible, that book of Numbers.
Hey guys.
Welcome, everyone. If you're looking at the intertubes, we welcome you. And also, if you have recently gotten your booster shot, now is your time to activate your 5G. Boop, boop, boop. Thank you, Illuminati. It just feels so good.
Yeah.
We're talking about chemtrails and a whole other bunch of fun stuff last
episode.
Chemtrails?
Oh yeah, chemtrails. Yeah.
And fluoride. Just a whole bunch of fun stuff. Nonetheless,
fluoride, of all things to attack, the thing that helps you from getting cavities. Go figure. The one thing
I know. It is a little random. I guess it's just because once people are like... Once someone takes an initiative, I guess there's always going to be something that goes...
Cavities are fun!
They do.
I like having the dentist drilling into my mouth. I don't know about you guys.
And you know the funny thing about that is they can't even take that route. It's not political. They couldn't take that route. That would be dumb. Could you imagine if it was like the pro-cavity and anti-cavity side? That would be hilarious. Hi, Bible burner. In fact, sending love to everybody in chat. I see Materialist Dan and Doomber and
Flum
and Flum and everybody. Donna.
David Neff was in.
David Neff. Just like saying that, like Titan Uranus. Oh. We just David love Neff. All of our users.
You're thinking of Harry Penis.
Oh, Harry Penis. Yes. I can't help saying that out loud. But yes, if you're feeling fancy, don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. I'm playing back and forth. Hey-o.
Captive
and
audience
then
tonight.
That, hi, everyone.
All our sentient carnivorous animals.
I know. Well, it's that omnivorous nature. We do love some good old agriculture that conquered the planet eventually, but we had to
animal
throw
domestication.
Spears. Yes, exactly, animal domestication. But we had to hunt for animals, and that is what gave us a lot of our big brains had to swell. But that would be evolution and natural selection. Oh my.
Well, I mean, if you look at the cow, you look at most herbivores, what do they do about 90% of their time? Eat. Yeah. The humans decided, well, we'll let them do all that work for us, and then we'll just eat them. Yeah. And then we won't have to spend 90% of our day eating. We can actually do other things.
Because all you need is to be fast. You don't need a big brain to run. Running is amazing. It helps in a lot of situations, but you don't have to calculate a lot to run. And so a predator actually needs to go, hey, this thing is going to be here if I jump out here. So I actually need to prepare myself to be here so that when they go here, I can be there. And if you got all that, you can catch yourself an antelope. Anyway, sending love out there, and all right.
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. And with that, we got Gilbert backstage. He's going to have to explain what we're about to read.
If you don't already
Some
know.
of you may be new to this abomination of a study. These schmucks begin by reading each episode's chapters along with the annotations on the side for funsies. The hosts are a tiny bit special, so don't mind if they butcher or replace everybody's name with something completely horrible or stupid. However, the gibberish that spews forth from their face holes will still be an attempt at reading this book from cover to cover, which I'm sure has tons of wisdom or an insight on whether we can or cannot put things up our butt. If you have time to waste screaming internet memes at random strangers, then join the Discord. Or scream at them personally at your YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch streams. Finally, don't forget to support these idiots doing more lame shenanigans at Amy Newman's Patreon page. All right, schmucks, back to you.
Thanks, Ethel.
Thanks, Gilbert. I know it happens, but we got the two schmucks here, so But
as always, yeah.
You can find our Patreon page at patreon.com/Amy Newman. Though you can also find Gilbert Godfrey's take on the aristocrats.
The
What?
Aristocats?
No. The aristocrats? Close enough. Anyway, it helps us make more fun content, including awesome Patreons like... Just had an episode of spoilers. What if?
Oilers. We got the Affleck duck out there.
I saw the news. Saw him in the trailer. In fact, if you saw the trailer, he's in there. Whoa, boom,
We'll take your word for it, Newman.
I can't help myself. I fangirl out every... Kevin, Feige, baby, I'm here. I am ready to play a supervillain. I've been reading the Bible. I've been learning a lot about it. Right here, baby. Anyway.
She's got the bat.
Got the bat. I could do my evil laugh. I knew it.
And then they will sell their children into slavery.
No one would believe that. I'll tell them I'm a god. Definitely. No, you're the good guy. Definitely.
You found a guy picking up sticks. What do you do with him? He shall surely be put to death.
And do you know why he was put to death, James? To show off God's glory. Do you understand that? How else are you supposed to show your glory if you say don't work on the Sabbath, a guy picks up sticks? What are you supposed to do, James? It's the little things.
You would have to kill him. Because if you let people rebel against those little things, what are they going to do about the big things?
Exactly. It's what we like to call here in the non-believer community as morality.
The mafia boss style morality.
But we're looking also at loving our Tang Gang, yo!
Tang Gang.
Us! Woohoo! Send and love us!
Love yas.
And also, are you looking for better conversations? Are you looking for a better community because you have recently shed the theistic one, whether by choice or because they kind of were like, hey, your what sexuality? Boot.
If you want to turn our community into something that resembles the Smokey Channel or something like that, yeah.
I love watching them go back and forth at each other. I mean, hey, all you gotta do is not attack each other for your beliefs. Don't have to do rage videos. And it's not just Smokey, but he's prolific at it. And a lot of them are.
Even for one day. Try it for a day. And then you can do the next day. It's like cracking an addiction. Just do it one day at a time.
But see, here's my thing. And I think I talked about this with James off show the other night or whatever. Can you remember any time when there was like an atheist versus atheist like attack video? Almost never. It happens, but like
it's not very common. We usually handle that stuff more discreetly.
Because we generally are like, oh, we have disagreements. Once again, maybe I'm just patting ourselves with a big brush. But you have disagreements? Oh, wow. Cool. Maybe we should have a beer and talk about it. Because we can drink beer. Let's have bacon about it. We'll get a side of bacon and mozzarella sticks. It'll be great.
To go with some beer.
That's right, baby. We'll get it. You can have a cheeseburger. I just offended. There we go. We have as many
with bacon.
I always found
that
weird. Yeah, exactly. That the Jews cannot have a cheeseburger. I find that funny. All-powerful God defeated by cheeseburgers. Okay, hey, we all have our way. Maybe he's lactose intolerant. All powerful doesn't mean you don't have like a upset stomach. I mean, it's not technically a false dichotomy.
I mean, I'll tell you, those being with my son's mom, those Thanksgiving dinners, those kosher ones, that is not something I will miss.
Yeah, well, there are definitely some hard things in like matzo ball soup. I look at that and I'm like, I'm gonna walk that way. You can just that
ball of
looks.
crackers
I feel
and-
like if
yeah.
you were in the desert after 40 years and you looked at that, you would have a hard time distinguishing if that came from the desert. But some things are good. I'll take matzah and put jelly on it, or butter.
Yeah,
But
that's good.
yeah, give or take.
Yeah,
But I'm still eating bacon.
bacon on the matzo.
Bacon on. That actually sounds almost good. I would probably do that. Anyway, Ian Davenport!
Ian!
A one-up life in the non-believer and skeptic community. And to scale. That hard is to scale. The other organs they got pushed to the side. Don't even know how I'm alive. But
To scale for a giraffe or
and we were talking about the laryngeal nerve the other night, I think.
the recurrent laryngeal nerve.
Because it just makes no freaking sense that a giraffe.
It makes sense from a fish because fish don't have necks, but when the animals
From a
start evolving
design
necks,
standpoint.
yeah, right, because we all evolved from fish. Basically, everything on Earth evolved from fish. So, yeah.
It just makes sense how that happens incrementally if you're able to pass off genes. But to think that anyone would create a giraffe. I think giraffes are adorable, but that neck system, it's for
A lot of work.
You gotta get the
The leaves
Top
on the
chop
tall
leaves.
trees, yeah.
and competition's tough.
The
Drives
longer
you
next
to it.
one out.
You would almost say that the environment naturally selected for it. Anyway,
You might say that, yeah.
You might say that. Some people are saying. But when we hear these creationist claims, or when we just read the Bible, like in tonight's chapter, which I'm sure is often quoted on every preacher's pew, it makes us and a grumpy old cuss go.
Yeah.
Whoo.
Well, today is Sunday, so our prosperity preachers got their haul for the day. They're probably hauling it back to their mansions.
Also, speaking of Sunday, random tangent, but I had some theist in some channel was going around claiming that the 7-day cycle is proof that we know God exists, and all of those gods I gave my punchline away. All of those days are named after other gods. Like, it is Thursday and Thor for a reason. It is.
It's like the idea that, the humans, like the 7-day cycle is perfect for us. It's perfect. And I mean, granted, when the French tried to institute 10-day weeks, that didn't really catch on very well, but.
Well, it took us a while to get here. It's also so arrogant once we get things to work to be like, look how easy it was. It always works.
How many calendars did we have to go through to get the final Gregorian calendar we use now? Quite a few.
And it's just I want to say accident, but it's just a description. We are just trying to describe what is happening. It's that, like, it only works like that on Earth. Like, do they understand that? Like, the other planets and every other body everywhere has a different cycle than 7 days. It's just us. Just us. But okay.
That's
sure. No, total proof of God. Totally. Even though that Saturday and Sunday and maybe it's those gods, but that's the lesser G God, but somehow they get the 7-day week. The mysteries of
They're just copying it from Christianity, right?
Yeah. They were just
They just
trying to
copied it
bat
from
up.
God.
Kappa. Nah, Judaism was the in-between religion. You had the Roman pantheon, and during that time, you had the Jews who were like, hey, cool, you guys do well. Not really cool. They really didn't like the other people that weren't them, but they were like, okay, we have our gods, you have your gods. And then the Christians were like, cool, we are totally sticking with the Jewish lore. That definitely happened. The only difference is none of those other gods ever existed, and that's actually a silly definition of a god. And everyone's like, but that was the definition for 1,000 years. And like,
people always wonder why Christianity was the one that made it. Like, it spread so far. It has to be something mystical. There has to be something there because it caught on so well. I mean, the thing is, if you look at it, where did it catch on really well? Oh, areas controlled by the Roman Empire, which was the largest empire on the face of the earth at the time, which held massive amounts of power. But Christianity had never really made it into the Far East, China, Japan. Up until the modern era, very little Christianity there, down in the Indian subcontinent. Very little Christianity down into Southern Africa. Very little Christianity on the Americas, where the Native Americans were. No sign of Christianity there. So it would seem that Constantine making it the official religion of Rome was probably the biggest thing that led to its spread.
Absolutely. And it's a game. I mean, they spread it, first of all, by either the sword or by missionary. Those are the two options. You are either going someplace and saying, hi.
Would you like to go to hell?
Well, yes. You're either going someplace and saying, did you know that you're about to burn forever? Or you make everything around the walls and burn. You make everything burn in real life, and then you sit on the throne, and you're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if everyone followed my religion?
Yeah, right.
Would be so cool. And yeah, honestly, it reminds me once again of natural selection, evolution. I mean, it works because it has certain aspects of like community, and the religions are basically like, listen, you need to go make babies. You need to make as many babies and make them followers. You need to basically like Duncan shot them into the mass sweater. What is it called? Baptized. You need to get them baptized as fast as possible. Have people squirting guns at them on Facebook pictures in quarantine.
I mean, the thing is, all the other religions, most of them anyway, they kind of coexist. Like, you're never going to hear, you don't really hear like Buddhists or whatever coming over and telling you, hey, your religion's bullshit, you need to switch to ours. But Christianity began that trend where, like, no, this is the only religion, and we are going to exterminate and stamp out any other religions out there because they're all invalid. And that's also the moniker that Islam kind of uses today, where they believe theirs is the only religion. Everybody should follow that.
Both Islam and Christianity, that is their method of, proselytization. I also dislike both of those for their creation of hell. The Jewish God's a dick, and the other ones really want to see people burn. Very, very odd.
So far, we haven't seen any clear reference to hell. We haven't seen any clear references to the devil. I mean, you would have to do a lot of logical to insert them in there at this point. I mean, I imagine after a while that the picture will become a little clearer, but as of now, no, nothing. No devil, no hell. And don't you think if those were real, if that was something we needed to worry about, they would have mentioned it by now, right?
Well, I was going to say, is that the only passage when you were a Christian? Is it just that one time and then there's this big break. Do they have apologetics? Do they like, oh, there's a whisper of a devil here?
What do you mean? Like the snake, they say, oh, that's really the devil. And
like,
then,
where the hell do you go? Like,
Yeah.
Is there any logistic apologetics for why the serpent was taking a really long smoke break? Like, he went
They don't really
the whole
talk
Old
about it.
Testament?
They don't really talk about that much. Like, you don't really get to, like, clear references to the devil or an adversary until much later in the Old Testament. But they don't really focus on it. Yeah, they don't really focus on it. It doesn't make sense, but yeah.
He sounds like a guy who'd wear a leather jacket. Anyway, we're sending love also to Diana Smith.
Diana Smith. We got X music out there.
What is
No,
up,
right.
X music? And I have a pop-up chat this time because I'm learning, ladies and gentlemen. Sending love to Doorknob Head and Rachel and Big Screen Bird.
We got Bird in the house. Hopefully his vegetarianism
I was
is
about
going
to
well.
make that joke. It's so funny. What a stupid apologetic.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't know why it's funnier to me now because I used to be under the impression that they were vegetarian until the fall. That doesn't
Now it's the
really
flood,
make
yeah.
sense, but that's kind of gothic, and I kind of understand it from that standpoint. What the does water have to do with being a vegetarian? And why would that be close all of a sudden?
I mean, can you imagine like the T-Rex just sitting down munching on grass all day? I mean, come on.
And did they become meat eaters right after? Like,
think
were they
so.
meat eaters on the boat? Was leaving the boat? They were
Like
like,
leaving the
oh
boat.
my God, God killed everyone.
God waved the wand
I need to
and
eat
said,
a
"Okay,
steak."
now you." Now, I mean, the thing like that, but like the predators would have quickly devoured all the prey items very quickly, and everything would have been
I
extinct
also
within
wonder
a
how
few. Yeah.
well their cage technology. Because I imagine a Jurassic. That would be so funny. Could you imagine a Noah's Ark that became a Jurassic Park scenario
Where the dinosaurs get out.
where Noah doesn't make it? Yeah, where like they take over the ship. Oh my God! Now I want to make that movie. Oh, that'd be so funny.
A lot of the Christians will say they didn't need cages. Why would you need cages in the ark? All you gotta do is just throw some greens down there. The animals will go to it themselves. They're all vegetarian.
I am not a farmer. That is dumb, even for vegetarian.
It's dumb.
Okay.
It's dumb all around.
Whew. Anyway, thank you so much,
Diana. I mean, even if the animals aren't eating each other, they're still going to get into fights and get into quarrels, and there's still going to be death happening. And the only thing is, if one animal dies there, that species becomes extinct. So, hey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Doc Pearson.
I feel like if you have two of every animal, that means you have to make, you got a 50-50 shot for everything. You need to make everyone survive. In one animal of any species, and that's it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Like
that's why we don't
a
see
rhinoceros
unicorns.
accidentally steps on a snail. Oh, they're going to be extinct now.
There goes snails. Where did they put the insects? How do you cage?
The insects, they could survive just fine on like floating debris, like the bodies, the human bodies, and like the wood that would float. The insects would be just fine living on that. There you go.
That's right. And they would stay there just for Noah. Just for Noah. They'd be like,
until the flood was over. Yeah.
Because
I mean, what would life be without mosquitoes? I mean, honestly. Flies, mosquitoes, all these wonderful animals
those
that we have to thank
keep.
God. Yeah. Fucking roaches and all these yucky, wonderful things.
But the baraka, that had to die apparently, because that shit's gone. But somehow it came back 600 years. Logistics, different religion. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, also sending love to Pat Lowinger as we are getting into our pre-production of Talk Skeptic to Me, where we get experts and people with experience to once again talk to schmucks.
Right. I mean, yeah, X music, you got to have the viruses have a male and a boy and a girl to get married, right?
That's right. There once was like 2 male viruses tried to spread, and
It didn't work.
it was the viruses turned on each other.
That's what Ken Hovind always said. Like, okay, so say you do have an animal that develops an unusual trait. It's gotta find a female or a male with that exact same trait to be able to pass that on. So first you gotta, the fish gotta develop lungs, walk on water, then find another fish to get married and have babies with.
Exactly. No, can actually, let's just take the classic eye example. Whoop, boop. You don't need this whole eye. In fact, what you need is just a little light-sensitive pair of cells. Even just
Light
a cell.
or dark?
Maybe
Light
just
or dark?
a light. Yeah, light, dark, light, dark. And then that kind of expands. You have kind of a whole rough patch of cells that's now starting to pick
Then
up
it gets
maybe
concave,
movements. Yeah, maybe going in or out.
so it can tell which direction the light's coming from. Yeah.
Then maybe it's starting to build what would be called a simple image. Imagine like a VHS stretched. Right. So you're getting these little simple images where you can actually say, hey, I should probably go away from this. And then finally,
a lens over the top of that to focus the image a little bit.
Exactly. And I would say now you have a maybe complex image, maybe without color, but is able to actually have detail, is able to see a nice gradient. And then finally you start to have colors come in, slowly at a time probably too, until you get your spectrum that was decent to whatever animal you are, and it is animals. I hate pointing that out, but I need to every time. Just like consciousness.
Well,
only animals. Only animals. I would lay open to, and hold on one second, open to plants. Plants are highly sophisticated, multi-celled organisms. Not shitting on them. They're amazing. They probably beat us to the arms race in multicellular, the multicellular arms race. And then fungus and the animals were like, oh shit, we need to do something because these dudes are just sitting there and collecting energy. And thus we have our lovely, conscious, squishy bodies while fungus go and inject their stomachs on everything else. And create lovely little underground networks that connect to each other. Fungi are actually really cool. Nonetheless,
the predators developed. They developed what is that? Infrared vision on their planet. So their evolution gave them that to be able to see heat.
Yeah, whatever is basically the environment is what justifies what is going to properly work.
Yeah.
And sending love to Pat Lowinger. And also sending love to all of the skeptic community.
Got Farron
out there. All of these empiricists, but specifically us and Dale Pastel are just looking for a little bit of empirical evidence. The funny thing about that is they ask us what would convince us that a God.
It's like the one thing we don't have. We got everything else.
After we get through the God would know and we don't know, and they keep on pressing us, and we're like, fine, put them right before. Bring some evidence.
Even if he showed up right before, you still wouldn't believe him.
The stars could realign. Oh,
look at the trees.
What if the stars realign and say God does not exist? I guess case closed, right? Fantastic. But Bring on the evidence, baby. That's what Dale Pastel and us are asking for. But Dave Gar is asking, you know what's kind of funny, James?
No.
It does. This Earth doesn't look flat. He's got a, I hate to say, but he looks a little thick.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The pancake model would be much cooler. You know, you could just spray some butter and some nice syrup on the Earth. But unfortunately, that doesn't work.
I know it. Well, it's those fisheye lens eyes that you have, James. You see, they tilt all these flat objects to the point where you become a conspiracy theorist. What?
And water doesn't curve except when it does.
Except when it does. I can show them. They hate the live feed of the ISS. No, but there are videos on YouTube that show you how to recreate, and you can just. What's up, preacher? And Farron, woohoo! What's up, Farron?
I forgot we took him off the naughty list.
God equals square root of -1. Woohoo! We do like other views, as long as everybody is
civil,
nice to each other. Yeah. That's right. The funny thing about the views that disagree, disagree with me, actually get me excited. They get me a little. Oh my!
Gets a tingle down there. Yeah.
I can't help it because look, I love the non-believer community. I would even say we do it #better, but I don't know. I just want these theists to come and give us that empirical evidence that's just gonna blow our socks off.
All right, Amy.
You know what I mean?
Amy will now do her rendition of "My Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard."
All right, but I'm going to do it in Ben Shapiro's voice. No. Anyway. And sending love not only to Dave Gar, but Scott Duke. The hyena of the pack. And I love
clocking in for the day shift. Refuting religion in the daytime.
That's right. Sending love to Answers in Atheism, who does the lovely weather report over there, which is unfortunately what I wake up to. A good, lovely 3 p.m.
We'll grow up one day.
We will. I'm a big girl now. What? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that hyenas are awesome. That's really what I'm trying to say. And matriarchal. Don't want to get too feministy on you, but just saying. And as we come to our lovely Bible study, we sometimes listen to God get a little thespian. You know, sometimes he's like, "Thou shalt
medieval
kill you, and thy shall scream a lot." And we're like, oh, okay, he's getting a little Shakespearean on us.
And then give thou unto me a meat offering, and a breast offering, and a heave offering, and a wave offering, and a peace offering, and a sin offering, and a bullshit offering, and a gay offering. Yeah.
Once again, we earn our.
Is
there rated R channels? I love you. Look on Twitch. Shout out to our Twitch channel. If you're not logged in, or even if you're logged in, it's like warning. This broadcast, maybe.
I mean, we work hard on our blasphemy. I mean, it's hard. To cram this much blasphemy in the show.
Right now, I am just trying to fill luggage. This is what I'm doing, filling luggage. We're going on a cruise. With Tom Cruise.
Like your, what is that, your escape bag filled with Gideon Bibles and dildos?
Oh my. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, in that book, there's something for everybody if you think about it, okay? It doesn't matter
Did
which...
you like hollow the Bibles out and so you could fit the
No,
dildos
I
inside?
didn't. I really
Okay.
didn't know what to do with the Bibles.
Okay.
I did go through an angry atheist stage. I think I did this into a bit. There was a time when I would hold up my finger to churches,
Yeah.
and I guess stealing the Bibles was part of that. I do want to have an initiative one day. If I ever get enough money, I want you to know I am going to take God is Not Great, and we're going to have like I'm trying to think an initiative or a campaign, and I want to put them in hotels. I want to put them in other countries. Do the same thing they do. They're playing the game, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
The con.
They are
The con is
spreading.
on.
They are, and it's hard not to turn it down. That's how they got in there. They just kept on going to different hotels and were like, look, we'll give it to you free. Don't have to pay a goddamn thing. And the hotels and motels...
Guessing that's not what Amy says in hotels.
That's right, baby. Anyway, but no, if you're going to say it's free, all the hotels and the motels gave in because they're like, what the hell do we have to lose? If someone likes it, they'll actually have it.
Oh, at
They
that
don't
time,
like
probably
it,
most of the
fucking
people were
free.
Christian anyway, so probably not too many people cared,
Exactly. And so they got this campaign in. But I think we got to do the exact same thing in the opposite direction. I would do this in Iran and other places, but Saudi Arabia, oh my goddess.
Amy Kilo Doggy says Amy teaching kids to play the maracas. That's actually
That's right.
Jen at Church of Entropy.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got to play those
Jen
maracas.
over at Church of Entropy has her double helix maracas. Yeah.
You would think 2 maracas would be fine. Sometimes you need to get as many maracas running as you can. Sometimes it's like you're doing an orchestra, keeping all these maracas up. I juggle. It's hard, but you do it for the audience, James. You do it.
It's a labor of love.
It's a labor of love.
Good night, preacher.
Night, preacher. And rejoin, and last but not least, Rachel.
Guessing you guys get a lot of good use out of that prop.
Oh, baby. Though, James, I'm telling you, do you think that there would ever be slavery in a holy book? I feel like that would just be wrong.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were told by a creator, an omnipotent, I don't know, deity, you would think they would have known that shit. They wouldn't have been
like, get that idea.
2,000 years, we're going to change it. It actually sounds a little, I don't know, to use their terminology, sounds a little postmodern, sounds a little relativistic, even though the
Catholics
sounds
would
like
call
they're
it
doing
modernism.
Modernism.
That's modernist.
Which is,
although now they just embrace modernism, but hey, they used to not.
well, we've potty trained them. Like, we have dragged Christianity kicking and screaming into the 21st century, and then they turn around. They're like, "Hey, why don't you go to Bangladesh or whatever? Get thrown off a club or go get thrown. They do the whole Muslims tossing you, which it's almost like they're hyper religious fundamentalists that are doing it. I wonder who that sounds like in this country. But yes, you're totally better than the other guys because we've potty trained you to where you don't throw people off buildings. Here's my. Here you go. No, you don't throw people off buildings.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that's better than the alternative, but yeah.
I know. The pat on your back, whatever you want, go
it's
take
like
it.
the Bible where God says, tells the master, "Do not be too harsh with your slaves." Like, oh, well, thank you, God. That is so nice. Like, Jesus even says, hey, if your slave didn't know what you want him to do and he didn't do it, just give him a lighter beating. Don't beat him half to death because he didn't know. You know,
James, as long as they walk, it's kind of doesn't really count, right?
well, right, because why would you want to beat them more than that? Because then they won't be able to work for you.
Exactly. Now I can go work.
How are you going to walk with 2 broken legs? You're not going to be walking very far. So, hey, you got to think.
You gotta use your brain, James. Exactly. You gotta think. Clearly not 2,000 years ahead to where we view it as disgusting and repugnant and worthy of anti-theism. But hey, no. Anyway,
Praise God.
during our Skeptic Bible studies, we try to greet everyone on screen. However, if you want your specific thoughts read out loud, or at least shown on screen, then feel free to tag James or myself in chat at Amy Newman. After the chapters are done, we will be switching into the open mic. If this is your first time to the series, you may be asking, what version of the Bible are we about to read? Why, what a fantastic
holy one.
question. Oh, it's so holy. Because that brings us to our what, James?
Categories, you say?
Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the Skeptic crew?
We're already there.
Woo-hoo! That's right. With that, welcome everyone to our Skeptic Bible Study. On the previous
chapter
episode,
20. Yep.
that's right, we are cruising through. We're going to be on the 5th book soon. I'm excited. On the previous episode, Aaron's magic rod. Oh my. James, were you excited for this hot magic rod as I was?
I was pretty amped up about it. It was
Pretty amped
an amazing. It was an amazing passage. Yeah. I mean,
But yes,
it's hard to say because each chapter is just amazing in its own right. But we got
So
Titan out
amazing.
there.
Can't be edited. That's right. We have to tighten our anus for it. Hi, Titan. I just
Hey,
like saying
Titan.
that out loud.
And we got the freak in there. Oh boy. We have the preacher, the freak. Damn. We'll be on into the book of Deuteronomy soon, and that's the avatar that I'm
Deuteronomy
using now.
who?
The avatar up there, doorknob head, thought it looked like a condom, but it's actually the Deuteronomist, who was, by the way, almost certainly King Josiah of Judah's high priest, because he just happened to find an old book in the temple. And wouldn't you know, it was a book written by Moses, Amy. And it happened to fit with the king's current political agenda at the time. Go figure. Lucky find, huh?
I know.
Lucky
Funny how that
find.
works out.
King wants more Yahweh. Hey, we found Deuteronomy. It's got 50% more Yahweh.
2 scoops of Yahweh. That's how much we need. No less, no more. Maybe a little bit more. 2 scoops of Yahweh. But yes, not only did Aaron got a magic rod, a hot magic rod, we then talked about how to redeem your firstborn sons, tithing, and a big old red cow. Moo moo moo. In this episode, Aaron finally gets to stop taking orders from God. The same God gets a fiery serpent. And then the Israelites take many cities by the sword. And with that, all right, let's jump into it as we go into Numbers chapter 20.
Just got a little bit of absurdity to start off. Nice light menu. Light menu
That's
going
right.
forward.
Just a single category. You can see our categories over here,
Yep.
which is just
Got
a bunch of
her
hilarity.
squishy ball.
And wait a second. That's really weird. Hold on. See if
Shoot.
there's something on my film. No.
It's on your screen, Newman. FCUS. What does that spell?
A fantastic weekend. Anyway, I can't. I think that's a contradiction, James. I think there may actually be a contradiction in the Bible. That can't be, though, right?
I don't know. What do you think, Titan? Titan doesn't think so.
Yeah, there's no way that could be true. If that were true, I feel like there would have been another contradiction. So we'll have to see.
Oh.
I think it's just a fluke. They'll have to prove.
Thank you for that note there, DeFreak, that it was that Christians that did fight against slavery after they maintained it for centuries. They did at the last minute. Some of them came around and said, hey, maybe
That's what
this
she
isn't
said.
such a good thing anyway, but got to give credit where it's due. Most of them were Christian, but hey. Then again, most of the slave owners were Christian. Yeah, most of the slave owners were Christian too. So, I mean, you where does Christianity filter and all that? It's just people who thought slavery was a good idea versus people who thought it was a bad idea. All Christian, well, vast majority.
And speaking of good ideas, the people complain again about the lack of food and water. And that worked out so well for the last people who did that. Definitely. If you don't remember, because it sounds like
Any quail?
your fedora moment, it's one of those that you're like, that's not in the Bible. You atheists are just straw manning. There was a point where the people were starting to complain to God, and they were like, we have no food. And God was like, you want food?
You brought us out of slavery just to starve in the desert.
And he's like, oh, that's no, I totally hear you.
You guys are hungry? You're hungry?
You hungry? Here's some quail. And they're like, oh man, thank you, God. You're so nice. And as they are eating the quail, they die. He kills them. Absolutely. Pew, 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 pew. And once
I think
again,
he has them like explode with quail, like they detonate from eating so much quail.
it's like opposite Quail Man from Doug. Yeah, but once again, that's the good guy, ladies and gentlemen. That's the good guy. So,
Gotta love.
I'm sure it'll happen. It'll work out better this time. So the people complain again about the lack in food of water. Numbers chapter 20. Then she came. Oh, wait. No. Oh, no.
The
Then
children of
came
Israel.
the children of Ishmael. Even 2 scoops of the congregation.
The whole
No,
congregation,
the whole
even the whole,
congregation?
not just most of it.
Into the desert of I wish it was sin. In the first month, and the people abode in Kadeshimode.
David Koresh.
And David Koresh. And Miriam died. No.
Yay!
Miriam, no. Miriam died there and was buried there. I'm sorry, Miriam. Miriam died in the first month in the desert of Zin.
Go say hi to the Pharaoh's baker.
Yeah, another one of those tip your fedora moments. But There was two guys in jail, at least, who had names.
Butler and the baker, yeah.
Yeah, and our
Yeah.
main man Joseph got
Joe
let
DiMaggio.
out. Yeah, Joe DiMaggio became the Pharaoh's father, the new Pharaoh's father, which
Pharaoh's
somehow
bitch.
made him in charge of all of Egypt.
Well,
and the other guy died. So we see which one got the better stick in that situation.
Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio.
Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
Better hitter. And there was no water.
No water. They're a little thirsty then.
A little thirsty for the congregation. And they gathered themselves together right up against Charlton Heston.
Was there much murmuring, I bet?
Yo, what the hell does is there an apologetic for murmuring? Is that speaking against God?
It's like just vain chat, gossiping, yeah.
Gossiping against
Gossiping,
God.
vain chat, dissentious, sedition.
No, totally powerful. Totally
Not a tremendously powerful.
Tremendously powerful. And against our main man, Aaron Ra.
Against his rod or just Aaron?
I hope both, baby. Sounds like they're having getting a love pile on here. And
a threesome? No, that's a gangbang.
Oh, man. A Socratic gangbang. We're right here, ladies and gentlemen. And the people chode. Really? They did? The Bible's just setting me up for this.
He's trolling you, Amy.
Trolling me. See, I thought I was trolling the Bible. Turns out the Bible's trolling me.
God is trolling you.
I know. And the people had a small chode with Charlton Heston, and they spat all over him, saying, "Would goddess that we had died when our brethren died before the Lord Bob."
That sounds like a word salad.
I know. So there was no water for people to drink. So they said to Moses, "We wish to God we had died when God killed our brothers." I like how it always goes back to this whole, looking back at the minivan. Like, oh, why did you even take us out of Egypt? And God just consistently turning around and going, "I took you out of Egypt and I can put you back in there."
And they're basically like,
relationship.
If you could you do that, please? Because at least we weren't dying there.
And this isn't the first time.
God is more lethal to them than the damn Egyptians were.
But both of them were unhappy. Yeah. Who is happy in this relationship? Not the chosen people or God. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I guess Egypt must have been nice for the Pharaoh. Go ask Joe DiMaggio. Okay, no water. We're thirsty. Oh, we're getting thespian. And why have ye brought out up the congregation of the Lord Bob into the wilderness of RuneScape, where there was heavy PvP, that we and our fat, juicy cattle should die there? I like how they at least have their priorities. They're like, you're going to kill us and the cows? Why have you brought us into the wilderness to die? I don't think that was their goal. I don't know who to defend in this. I feel like everyone. There is no one to defend here except for Aaron. Aaron has been the only silent good guy here.
It's kind of funny, though. They're going around with herds of cattle, and they're like, "We've got no food. We've got nothing to eat."
Yeah. Wait a second.
You've got a whole bunch of cattle.
Wait a second. Yeah, this makes no sense. Okay, whatever. I guess they're trying to get a full meal. You gotta have. Yeah. They're like, we want Applebee's, James. Why are there no Applebee's in the desert? And wherefore have ye made us to come? Oh, up out of New York to bring us onto this evil place.
To get away from Andrew Cuomo and his harassing behavior.
It is no place of seed. Oh, is it?
No place of seed.
It's just filled with
Sorry,
seed.
Andrew.
Or of figs, or of vines, or of pomegranates.
No vines.
No vines. Are you naming things you eat, or just anything that goes in the ground? What the word? I don't even know. It looks like
The
a
vines
list of
probably means like for grape juice, like grapevines to make wine with.
Oh
the-
boy.
The figs, you remember our big man Jesus has a hate relationship with figs because that fig tree got the better of him in the book of Mark. He had to go hasta la vista, baby, and kill a fig tree because it pissed him off.
Listen, I think all of us can remember a time when we got in a fight with a fig tree, if you think about it.
And I mean, the disciples, they heard him because we know they heard the conversation Jesus was having with the tree. They knew what happened. That's how we know, because Jesus didn't actually write anything, but there were people who were around him who told stories, and like 40 years later, somebody decided to write it down, and that's how we know.
That's how we know, James, and it was the inspired word of God. How do we know that it was the inspired word of God?
Because it says it's the word of God.
Oh, James, you really do know. See that, ladies and gentlemen? That's all you
then
need
you might
to know.
you might say, but how do we know it's right when it says it's the word of God? Well, because it can't be wrong. Why? Because it's the word of God.
Now you're using that big blue organ, that big gray matter. Squeeze, squeeze. All
Hasta la vista, fig tree.
Hasta la vista, fig tree. And okay, the cattle are dying, and wherefore we drink. Okay. Moses smites a rock twice, and water comes out. Okay. So we're truly getting some biblical science tonight. I think that's what we're.
They've got a picture of a rock somewhere over there that has that's split down the middle, and they're saying that's the rock that Moses struck, and the water must have flown out of that.
Well, James, you know what that means. We need Grandpa.
I guess if you pray real hard, you can strike him and get some water out of him.
Can I ask, why do we have to hear people go on and on about evolution and the Big Bang? If you are in the Abrahamic faith and you believe this passage, we don't need to talk about any other science. We just need to continue talking about this passage until you can explain to me how we can smite a rock and water comes out. Because that does sound useful in the desert. Let me tell you, there's actually a whole bunch of people in lots of countries that could use this knowledge right now. I could use this, including the United States of America. What the? Rock water. We're going to find the wisdom, James.
It's magic. Only when God magically puts the water in the rock so it can come out. Yeah.
That's what she said. Anyway, we only got 2 categories on the menu. We are laughing, as you can tell. When you think of the Bible, I think everyone thinks of fun. Isn't that your correlation thought, James? You're like, the Bible, it's just a bag of
like an amusement park. Like Dinosaur Adventureland.
Or at least like Dinosaur Adventureland used to be. Oh, man. You think someone else will take over for Kent, or you think he'll get out of it?
Well, he's only gone for 30 days. I'm sure
somebody really? It's only 30? Oh, okay. 30 days.
30 days. That's nothing.
Okay.
They've got the first Dinosaur Adventureland in Pensacola.
Actually, I shouldn't say white collar. It's not white collar anything. It's probably because of his wives. Not even gonna hide
domestic violence. Little
That's contempt for you there. I normally make jokey jokes, but yeah, the epitome of
Ken likes to knock his wives down a few times. Yeah, she mouths off to you, knock her down.
And the funny thing,
maybe she'll think twice
about that is he has this little thing where he has like 17, 18. He has this whole, I don't want to say cult of people down there. But there's a whole amusement park of people that I think the joke is normally you stay the night for free and the night
Next day they
afterwards
put
he
you to work.
hands you like a shovel. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
If you even get to that first day, and then oh by the way, the girl slaving in the kitchen all day making food for everybody isn't allowed to turn the fucking air conditioner on. She has to work in the hot heat in Alabama because hey, they're just not that important. We can save that $3 or $4 a day to buy more shit for Cat.
But James, it's for Jesus. It's for Jesus.
Okay, you're right.
Don't mind those 3 divorces, and not hating anybody who gets divorces. Once again, because 1 and 2
It happens.
in
But
America.
Kent is the one
but
telling everybody else,
yes,
giving them marital advice.
it is the standing above other people until it happens to them. That is what they need to get knocked down for.
Right. Well, of course, the New Testament says that divorce is only permissible in a few rare situations. What? I'm divorced.
Like when
well,
it happens, like when it happens to them.
That's well, I mean, I'm not gonna. God said it's not good for the man to be alone. I'm not going to spend the next 40 years of my life alone. Why would I want to do that?
And so you throw that verse out and you just, read the Sermon on the Mount. Sells better. Anyway, 3 categories. Wait. 3. I thought I said 2.
Wait, what?
No, there is a...
You said 2, Newman.
I did say 2. I thought there were 2, but...
There are 2.
I thought it was just laughing and biblical science. This is what those creation scientists that they talk about. I think this is what we're about to experience. Funny, they knock evolution and genes, and then let's get to some rock water. But I don't know. It's saying there's a contradiction in the Bible. But once again,
that's just
stupid.
That's clickbait. That's clickbait.
Yeah. And if there was a contradiction in the Bible, it wouldn't have just been one. Like, this is our first time seeing this icon, I think. So, I don't know.
Ken Hovind would have found it by now. He's been reading that book for how long now?
Yeah, he's been reading it for... He would have found at least one contradiction.
40 years, 50 years. He would have found it by now.
But yes, we're going to have to get to some real science. Let's get ready. Everyone, put on your lab coats, your goggles, and get your rocks out. It's Moses.
Never a bad idea to wear goggles around Amy.
That's right, baby.
You never know something's flying through the air there.
Look, James, sometimes it's a chemical reaction, okay? A chemical reaction. But Moses smites a rock twice and water comes out. Numbers chapter 20, if you just joined us. And Charlton Heston, our main man, who should have been asking for a raise by now. And Aaron Ra, the real hero here, who has been doing everything basically silently. Like, he has been the Kenny of this chapter. And we're going to prove that. Didn't want to do spoilers, even though the spoiler is in the title. But nonetheless, went from the presence of the assembly right down there. Moses and Aaron, assemble unto the door of the tabernacle, our wonderful floating tent that we built chapters ago that is like the holy place of the congregation.
Oh, it's the holy place.
Oh, it's holy, baby. You can stick anything in it. And they fell upon their faces like the 3 Stooges, and for some reason this happens often in the Bible. I don't even get it. I don't get what this is supposed to represent, except for like embarrassment, except for like a literal comedic act. And the glory, shake weights, of the Lord Bob appeared right onto them. Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Good amount of protein. When Moses and Aaron heard the people's complaints, they fell upon their faces. And the glory of the Lord appeared to them. James, We've been doing it wrong the whole time. People have been thinking it's prayer. You just gotta fall on your face.
I mean, it seems to be pretty effective in here. What do you think?
This is the reason these chapters aren't quoted from pews.
Yeah. You didn't hear this in Hebrew school?
I don't remember hearing this in Hebrew school. No,
Yeah.
no. You didn't
It's
hear
not
this
one of the
in
ones
Sunday
they
school?
on at church. No,
No.
not one of the hits.
No, yeah, not one of the greatest. And the Lord Bob spacked all over onto Charlton Heston. It was kind of hot. Saying, oh, come on, Bible, don't do this to me. Take the rod.
Do you have your rod, Amy? Oh, figuratively?
All right, God. I'm ready. We're ready. What is he telling me to do? Here we go. Take the
Is
rod.
God circumcised or uncircumcised?
A little bit of both.
Oh,
And
okay.
gather. I make
God
that
rod.
joke, but that's me. Da 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 da. I'm Aphrodite.
She's here all night,
And
folks.
I'm here all night, folks. Take that rod. Gather, thou assembly, together. Thou art in line. Thou art in run. Thy brother. Oh, he's your brother, huh? Uh-huh. And speak ye unto the rock. Oh. Okay. Hi, Grandpa. We're,
Oh,
I don't
you
know how to
believe you
say
came
this.
from a rock.
Exactly. We came from rock soup. This is what the theists tell atheists, that they tell them that we came from rock soup. So this is Grandpa. And so look, Grandpa, I know you've been chilling, just been watching the Bible study. We're going to I'm going to need to bash you against another rock. I don't know how to say it, but we're kind of thirsty, and I am then probably going to add a little sugar and lemon and make lemonade, if I'm being honest. Eh? He's
Well,
good for it. He's good for it. He said
rock
do it.
soup.
He said
What is
do
it, rock soup? Elementary school.
That's right. Also, Nick, I just want you to know, past midnight, I become Carrot Top. Whoa! It should be red. I think it's red. Though I have to say, that mother got buff. I think he was like, listen, you gonna make fun of me for my props? You know what? I'm gonna get ripped. I'm gonna get me some bitches. And that is exactly what Carrot Top did. I just turned into the terrible version of Carrot Top. It's not ripped at all. I can't help. I heard some voice. Are you still here, James? Da 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 da.
No,
I
I'm
can't tell
here.
if it's
I'm here.
Gotcha.
I was on. I double tapped it.
I felt bad. Sometimes we mute just to take drinks. I didn't want to expose you, but sometimes it's because it's
It
Satan sucks our souls, and we have to go sell timeshares in hell.
With Mary Baxter.
Mary Baxter. That's right, baby. Amy after midnight. And we are
like Red Tube
stacking.
After
We are
Dark?
gathering. Woo-hoo, that's right, baby. Whoa, I'm gonna be honest. I got to the end of this and I thought that said breast drink. Woo! All right. Let's do some science. Speak ye unto the rock. All right, we got Grandpa's permission. Before their eyes. Do I have to add
What does
googly
the rock
eyes?
say?
Are you good, Grandpa? He's in. All
Give me
right,
my
you
fucking
got it.
dentures.
Before their eyes it shall give forth his water. His water? Whoa, 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 whoa. That doesn't... I'm just saying. When it
You want
says...
some of my water? I got some water for you.
I feel like I've read that okay, whatever stories you're into. Whatever gets you off, buddy. And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. All right, Grandpa. We need you. Come
Put a
on.
straw in there.
Do I need to put my mouth on this? Is that how you get monetization? When I start putting my mouth on things and sucking? Anyway, I don't know. The water's not coming out. I don't know where the science. And thou shalt bring forth to them water out of the rock. So thou shalt give the congregation and their beasts drink. Mountain Dew. They're going to drink Mountain Dew.
Put it in your blender, Newman. In the drink, Newman.
Drinks. Drinks. Rum. I got a blender. Yeah. All right, so we are now getting Rockwater and Charlton Heston, who hasn't been getting the jobs he deserves, took the rod, and it was a big fat one.
Oof.
Before the Lord Bob, as
How big was that rod?
she commanded him.
It
was about 15 foot long. In fact, did you know that a whale has a 15-foot long anyway? And Charlton Heston and Aaron Ra, both of them, like Sam and Frodo, gathered the congregation together before the rock. Can't make this shit up. And he said unto them, "Hear now."
Or Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
"Hear now, ye are rebels, and that's pretty badass. Must we fetch you water out of this rock? I mean, you're going David Blaine on us, so sure." Moses took his rod and gathered the congregation in front of the rock. He said to them, "Hear now, you rebels, do I have to get water for you out of this rock?" Is that a sentence that people normally say?
No. Not normally
Don't
in the
think so.
vernacular.
Not if you're not hallucinating or on acid, which would also
A
be
heroic dose.
hallucinating.
Would that be a heroic dose? Very much.
Just reminds me of Joe Rogan, as much as I love Kefefe. I just want to go. That's all I really want to do one day. If I ever meet Joe Rogan, is all I want to say is, "Yes, Joe Rogan, I have tried DMT. I have. It's okay. It's gonna be okay." Anyway, back to science. Truly, but genes and evolution and abiogenesis and life coming from non-life. Rockwater. And Charlton Heston, we're about to get more superpowers, lifted up his hand. Oh, no. Woo, we're going to go like this. With his... Oh, come on, Bible.
Do it, Amy.
Oh, my God. The Bible is...
Do it, Amy.
Lifted up his hand with his rod, and he stroked and stroked until he smoked the rod twice. Let's get ready for some Bible science. All right. 3, 2, 1. Boom. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh. Wow, thank you, Bible. I wonder why this isn't quoted as often as the Sermon on the Mount. Oh, you don't remember this like you were taught the Ten Commandments? No? Didn't get on your...
The rock water is something people mention, and that makes it. That's not quite one of the hits, but it's not an unknown one because it's like, oh look, God will provide for His people.
What?
God will provide for you.
Okay, well, let me tell you, if you are going to bring this up as a miracle, I would like to then know the logistics. Please, you're Jesus. Let's get
It's
this
magic,
in a lab.
yeah. It's magic. There's no logistics.
No. And so, but once again, with the lifting up of the hand, going back to another tip your atheist fedora moment, where Moses was like, you can, or God was like, if you go fight a battle for me, if I lift your hand, you will win. If your hand falls down,
You'll lose, yeah.
Science, ladies.
People holding his hands up. Well, because God's like, hey, look, I know it's really, really uncomfortable for you to hold your hands up in the air for a long time, but that's kind of what I want you to do. I want you to suffer and be uncomfortable like that so I can then allow your people to win.
You will win for me, said every good guy ever, right? Yeah, okay. Lifted up his hand with his rod. Yo, I do have to say, to be fair to Moses, there have been times where you lift up your rod and things like water come out. So I'll give him that olive branch. Anyway, God punishes Moses and Aaron Ra for smiting the rock twice. What the? Why? Because it has to be rule of threes. God was like, listen, you do it once or rule of threes or something else, because I was about to be smoted, okay? None of this twice shit. No twice. Okay. Oh, fine. And the Lord... Oh, before I was getting excited, James.
Get your category thing. Yep. Yeah, get it.
We're laughing out loud. That's obvious because there's so much wisdom. But we're also kind of about to ask ourselves where the justice system comes in. And when they talk about objective morality and perfect morality,
right,
and all this other
God punishing people for things that other people do to piss him off,
You just can't understand the 4D chess, James. We're not smart enough. It just looks dumb and evil to us. But if we could see outside of it, sure.
Yes, Nick, that's absolutely right.
That's right, baby. I like
Emperor Newman Caligula.
I'm just trying to keep it nice and spicy. This isn't what they say, right? That's what it says. It doesn't say that Moses gave a good stroke into his hot rod and then some sort of liquid came out. Wait. Okay,
Squeeze it out, Newman.
Squeeze it out, baby. Did you know, James, that God will not be mocked?
I've never seen him mocked. Have you?
He would never. We could never be like, you're just such a silly face.
And I mean, even he does say that whoever commits blasphemy shall be put to death, right?
Blasphemy.
If anybody did that, they would surely be put to death. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
That's a good movie. As George once said, we can prove that God isn't here right now. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. May God strike this audience dead. See? You're all fine. Wait. A little something.
Oh,
I'm feeling
Newman.
a tingle. Oh,
I think
it's back again.
Farron caught on to what you're doing. He must be able to see your other screen there that you're.
Listen. We all have the things that we're into. Just because I am into Moses and Aaron three-way porn with Yahweh, okay? Okay, don't kick shame me.
18 hours a day, people. Remember, she's got to spend 18 hours a day at least watching porn.
Shake waiting.
So, I mean, she's a little short, so she's got to do double duty right here.
Double duty. 2 scoops. And the Lord Bob spacked all over Charlton Heston and Aaron Ra. It was so wet. They were like, oh, baby.
God is just so pissed.
So pissed. Because ye believed me not. Didn't they believe him? I feel like he's about to take it on the out on the only 2 guys who ever did believe him.
Well, I mean, look, Amy, if because he hit the rock twice, he didn't believe him. So if he would have had faith, he would have only knew that, oh, I just had to hit the rock once. But like if you were going to try to get water from a rock, Amy, you might hit it multiple times because you don't think you're ever going to get water from it, right? But if you knew for a fact water was, you would only have to hit it one time, right? Because it's like, yeah, of course, right. There you go, water.
Water, boom.
It sprays out like a hose.
This also adds on to the list of like God is about to severely punish people for like
trivial,
just absolute non-shit things.
Stupid bullshit that doesn't mean anything to anybody.
Doesn't mean anything.
He's gonna make people's lives fucking miserable. He's gonna ruin people's lives over something stupid.
And what is up, Robert?
Hey, Robert.
In the house. Woohoo!
Thanks, Rachel.
That's right, baby. We're on our way. We're on our way there. And God punishes Moses and Aaron for smiting the rock twice. If you had just joined us, we are learning some biblical morality to sanctify me, kind of hot, in the eyes of the children of Israel Shmishmael. These people never get names. Kind of sounds like children of the corn. Therefore, ye shall not bring this congregation into the land which I have.
Oh, why not?
I kind of give to them. I kind of was just like, go wandering
They never
into
actually
the desert,
get it,
and now it's yours. Yeah.
It's like one of those, get a free laptop. You got to do all these bullshit offers, but you never actually get the fucking laptop.
Yeah.
You have to complete 16 offers at the diamond level.
At the girls.
You never get the fucking thing. Yeah. Well, you're on BobLarson.com.
That's right, baby. But kind of lamb which I've given them. This is the water of Meribah. Because the children of Israel Shmishmael strove with the Lord Bob, and he was sanctified in them. That sounds kinky. God said to Moses and Aaron.
In Amy?
I do. I sanctified him. Because you didn't believe me, you won't enter the promised land. This is the water of Meribah. This is just a long list of God and the Israelites messing up one after the other. Like
this
no
is like
one
an
does
excuse
anything
for,
right in this book.
It's like an excuse for, oh well, okay, if God promised them the land, why didn't they get it? Oh well, they Moses fucked up. He hit the rock twice, so therefore, yeah, they didn't get it.
I just don't understand. Did he say don't hit the rock twice? Or were they just supposed to know not to hit the rock twice?
I guess maybe it was implied.
It was implied. Implied not to tap that rock.
Yeah.
And Charlton Heston sent a Zoom messenger from Kadishtan onto the king and queen of Edom.
Edom. Oh, yeah, great place.
Yes,
I love Edom.
Edom all over. They have great appetizers. Thus saith thy brother Israel, thou knowest all the travel that have befallen us. That is right.
They fall on you.
Fall right on me, baby.
And Amy fell on her face.
And apparently that's how you summon God. They thought it was praying. No, it's the whole Three Stooges communication method. That is how it works.
What an amazing God. That's the genius of God. What other God would come up with something like that, you know?
God, I just do. And sending love out in chat. That's right. We are trying to hit 1,000. So you can just enjoy the show. We hope you are enjoying the show. But if you're feeling, like I say, super fancy, we are trying to hit that big 1K number, baby. And though the show will always be free, very adamant about that, because really we are just trying to build a community here of non-believers.
That's the goal.
That is the goal. I really am hyperly sympathetic to both the normalizing atheism campaign and Tang Gang. It's I can't help it. We are out here.
It's amazing, isn't it?
To build a better atheist community and atheist, agnostic, non-believer, skeptic. Science ally, okay? How big do you want me to make this tent? If you are friendly, come on board. That's what he or she said. Anyway, we're going to move on through here in this wisdom. We're sending messengers. We just had some appetizers. Thou knowest all of the wonderful travel locations around here that hath befallen us. How our mothers went down in New York, and we have dwelt in New York a super duper long time. And the New Yorkians...
So long. Those damn New Yorkians.
Basically been schwitzing the entire time. And the New Yorkians vexed us. That is the most Jewish thing the Torah has said so far. I don't know why. That is...
It's up there. It's up there.
The Egyptians are vexing us. Get a spitzen.
Are you vexed, Amy?
We're in the desert. I wanted to relax. God.
Are you vexed, Amy?
I'm vexed. I'm super vexed. We were just about to have a little rock water. And then the schmuck had to hit it twice.
Go figure. It doesn't take much to upset God's plans, does it?
No. When I ask him to take the trash out, can't even do it once. Hit the rock, does it twice. God. Apparently this God. Anyway, back to the New Yorkians, and when we cried, when the doves in New York cried onto the Lord Bob, he heard our voice.
They were sad.
Yeah, because he is omnipotent. They actually don't use those words. That seems to be an apologetic I'm learning, because this God doesn't seem to be anywhere. Like, he is at specific locations, and then he needs to, he's like, hey, guys, what was going on over there? And sent an angel. And cool. Was it that hot angel from Buffy? And
Chris Angel.
Damn it. Well, I mean, that's kind of a diagonal move for me. I don't know I don't know about you.
You'll take it.
I was going to say. Anyway, and we just have a threesome at that point. And hath brought more Socratic gangbangs. And have brought us forth out of Egypt. out of New York, and I could put your ass back. I will turn this galactic minivan right the F around. And behold, we are in Kadesh, which really does sound like a roleplay city. A city in the uttermost of thy border. Oh, good to know. Thank you. Let us pass.
Ye shall not.
Unless you pay the toll. I pray thee, through thy country, we will not pass. Not going to happen. Oh, no, no. Not through the fields. Not through the vineyards. Not through the innards or her schminnards and dinnards.
Really?
No, not at all. Never. Neither will we drink of the water of the wells. Oh, would you like some rock water instead? We will go by the king's high. At least someone is. We will not turn to the right hand nor to the left until we have passed through those thick thighs. Wait, what? Oh, borders.
They save lives.
Borders, right. Gotcha. Exactly. Let us pass, Gandalf. What the hell? Stop being a douche. I pray thee, through thy country. Is that how that works? We will not pass. I did say that.
Do not pass go.
Do
Do
not
not
pass
collect
go.
$200.
No. And eat 'em are appetizers.
Oh, eat them.
Eat 'em. And actually...
That's my main man. Eat them.
Our main man, eat 'em. Thou shalt not pass by me. You ain't getting by me. Bring it on. Ain't getting by.
That's like,
Got Yahweh on my side.
do not come near the tabernacle.
Don't you come near.
Anyone who looks at my tabernacle shall be put to death.
You have strange fire? Did you just put strange fire near my camp? James.
Listen, you
Strange
better
fire.
you better slit an animal's throat and spray the blood around an altar before God kills you.
Woo! Whoa. Can't kill a person, though. We're not brutal people. Honestly, we're not barbarians. We wouldn't slaughter a human as a sacrifice. That would be crazy.
That would be unthinkable.
That would be unthinkable. Yet somehow they translate that into better. I love that pitch. Guys. We're not killing a goat or any other silly animal. We're killing Frank. Now, Frank, he feels very differently about this, but take our word for it, it's gonna go great. Okay. Definitely. No, that's more moral. Definitely. That, and they then make fun of the Aztecs and they're like, oh, they were ripping out hearts and stuff. Yeah, did you notice the guy with staples, like stapled to the plank of wood behind us? Yeah, they put that dude around their neck. Oh, whatever. No,
Praise him.
Praise him. I'm not the first. I forget which comedian said it, but if Jesus ever came back and he was like, "You have what around your neck?" You thought I would want to see that again. That's what you thought I'd want to see around. Okay, sure. No, it is like seeing people put guns around their neck. Oh my lordy.
At Sandy Hook or something.
Yes, at Sandy Hook. But completely missing the irony. Not even taking a pot shot at guns. Just taking it, you're putting a weapon around your neck.
Right.
Is trying to think. It's like... That is my analogy, gosh darn it. I was going to go into like Sith and like I was trying to
Newman.
think of something. It's like, yeah, I don't know if that would translate. I do like the well, I do try to fit in as many transitions as I can into my sentences, but
Well,
I
you
really
go on
do.
pretty late, right?
That's right, baby. I do like the Jedi, the motto: the fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate. Hate leads to the dark side. I really do think, even though it could be close to a deepity, but I actually think that it has a little nugget of truth in that
No, it
fear
does have some truth
often
into that.
leads to a misunderstanding of people, and that misunderstanding of people often gets filtered out into an action of hate. And oftentimes they don't even know why. And it's because it just makes people on the inside feel really scared, and that's a dangerous feeling when you don't understand. Just got to meet people, ladies and gentlemen. And all right, moving. We're getting through our appetizers. We're eating them.
Oh, they're so good.
Thou shalt not go through and eat them. And eat them and came out. That's right. Sorry. Had to take a pause for just a second. It's not in my throat.
Oh, I thought you said Cain. Edom came. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good freedom.
Yes. Sorry, I had to take a pause. There was something in my mouth, but I swallowed. It was such a easy joke, but I just, it was right there, and so I had to reach out. I just had, okay. Anyway, tip your waitress, folks. Against him was so much people.
How many?
Oh, wait, no. Did I miss? Hold on. The children... Edom said unto them, thou shalt not pass by me, lest I come out against thee with thy sword. Oh my. Things are getting real.
Shit just got real, yo.
Shit just got real. Well, God likes making threats, I will say. And the children of Ishmael of the corn said unto him, we will go by the highway or my way. And if I...
That's it, doorknob.
That's right. Just the tip. And my cattle, if my Wendy's burgers drink of thy water, hey, at least they're thinking of the cattle. I also, sometimes they go, and then the people drank, and then the women and the cattle. And you're like, aren't women people?
Like like the booty from like property, and take their cattle and take their women.
No, morality, all just, all good. Makes perfect sense. Drink of thy water from thy thick thighs, and then I will pay for it. Well, honest man doing some tips. Hopefully the stripper's name is Candy.
You'll pay for this, Captain Planet.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of shows in general like that, like a good anime. I always love when the hero or the villains are about to find out they're about to lose, and they scream, Bakara! My geeky moment. Which generally means, this cannot be, or how? What? Okay.
All I wanted was sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads.
Was it so hard to ask for sharks with laser beams? Good movie. Mike Myers hasn't made some movies in a while. Cattle drink of thy water and thick thighs. They're going to pay for it. And I will only, without doing anything else, go through all over my feet. Hey, sounds hot. Okay, hey.
Whatever floats your boat.
Whatever floats your boat. And he said, thou shalt not go through, and eat them some more. Oh my. I've seen these videos on Pornhub. Came out against him, with much people.
The coming of Edom.
I know, the coming of Edom. And with a strong backhand. Okay. Thus, Edom refused to give Israel Shmishmael passage through his tight-ass border. Wherefore Israel Shmishmael turned away from him. It happens. You go through that. Buy your dinner. And the children of Ishmael Shmishmael corn, even the whole congregation. James, even the whole?
Yes, Amy. Even the whole.
My
Not just
God.
part of it.
Not just half. Whole. Congregation journeyed from Kadeshistan and came.
They journeyed. they played Journey the whole
That's
way.
right. They played Journey
Please
the
stop.
whole way.
Believe and
That's right. Believe, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, Captain Planet's on a conservatorship with Duke Nukem.
But it's okay. It's okay because they came. On to Mount Hor. They came onto Mount Hor. You can tell where my maturity level is here.
Now Amy has been spent the past few days a-whoring around, as she is wont to do.
Is that what they call it? Aaron and Aaron Ra shall be gathered unto his people. Oh my, this is getting hotter by the moment. And shall die there. Oh, what the... Dude, way to be a buzzkill at the party.
Yeah.
Also, holy moly. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been coming, that's what he or she said, to our Skeptic Bible studies, you will know that we have basically been playing Saw for the past few chapters.
God finding ways to kill people.
And Aaron have been the only two dudes who have survived this. The only two consistent dudes for chapters and chapters and chapters. Like,
God
this is a
killing
big
people
deal.
left and right.
But this is like him killing his two underlings. This is like the big boss killing, like, the two guys, one of the two guys that have been helping him. Like, you only to get two guys, and he's gonna kill one? Really? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. His wisdom is beyond ours, James. Okay.
We can't understand it. His ways are better than our ways. He moves in mysterious ways.
He's playing chess. Very mysterious. All right. I guess Aaron Ra dies. Did God kill him? Question mark. Dun dun dun.
Well, two more categories. Nice and light.
That's right. I just see we have some injustice.
Of course.
A common thing. Why would you want to have a just system when you're reading scripture? I'm sure it'll stand the test of time, James. I'm sure. Absolutely. 100%.
Let's put a schizophrenic, psychopathic meth head on the judge's bench and see what happens.
Boop. Dun dun dun. But he knows better than us. Totally. This will make sense. But not just justice. One of our rare favorites, interpretation.
Huh.
The signs say no.
Damn it.
Is that like the Ouija board to interpret the Bible from Bubble?
That's right. This is how there's only two ways of speaking with God. You can talk with him via crystal ball or falling on your face, apparently. Oh, I guess the third method is Ouija board. Though he told us that was the middle ground. I am so more curious. Like, he was like, the Ouija board is a good method, but that's not like the best method to communicate. Yeah. So I want to find the best method, baby.
The full 15-foot method.
Full 15 methods. And I guess we're out of categories. Oh, wait. What are the... Wait a second. Wait a second.
Bust out the Otangelo soundboard. Oh, no.
Contradictions. Huh. James, there may be
Where?
Contradiction in the Bible. I don't know. That can't be right. I'll have to believe it for myself when I see it.
I want to have a role play.
A role play. That's right. And all right, we're moving into the end of Numbers chapter 20. Aaron Ra dies. Man. And it's kind of like a murder mystery. Let's find out. And the Lord Bob, who done it? Yeah, it's a who done it. Spacked once again all over Charlton Heston, Aaron Ra, getting them nice and lathered up. And how do you do that? Where do you do that? Well, in Mount Hor, by the coast of the land of eat 'em all up. Nom. Saying, Aaron Ra shall be gathered onto his people, for he shall not enter into the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. Because ye were like totally rebellious and junk against my word at the water tribe of Merib. I'm sorry, what? God said to Moses and Aaron, Aaron will die here. He won't enter the promised land because you rebelled against my word at the water of Merib. Can I ask you, did Aaron do a goddamn thing? I guess.
Aaron's been blowing this God's dick for how long? For how fucking long? And
this is ridiculous. Yeah.
God just cuts him off at the very. God's been carrying water. Yeah, Aaron's been carrying water for this God for how fucking long?
This is like getting the key to unlock the Saw puzzle, and Jigsaw is just like, yeah, that's kind of funny. Swoop, and then the thing on your head just falls down. So, why were we playing this game again? Okay, sure. For he shall not enter. Okay. Take Aaron Ra and Elzer Barbadar, his son. Oh, look, he gets a name right before Aaron dies. That's fantastic. And bring them up into Mount Hor, so you can
here
become
we go,
a real
Amy.
man.
Here we go.
Oh.
Yep.
And strip Aaron of his garments. Woo! All right, baby. It's finally getting hot in here.
Strip him.
Oh, wait.
Strip
Aaron.
Aaron.
It's about to get some Game of Thrones in here. And put them upon Elzar, his son. Okay. And then you're just going to you're telling him to strip. And now you're going to, okay. Hey, you do you, God. Just truly moral. And Aaron Ra shall be gathered onto his people and shall die there. Oh, cool. Good guy, God. And Charlton Heston did as the Lord Bob commanded, because he's kind of a bitch. And they went up into
better Aaron than me, I guess.
I know, yo.
One of us got to go.
Bros before hoes just got thrown out because whatever, Moses, your BFF is about to die in the sight of all the congregation. And Moses, Charlton Heston, hasn't been seen in Hollywood in forever now, stripped Aaron Ra, sunglasses and all, right down to his beard, removed the garments, and put them on Elzar, his son. Yeah, you're going to make him a priest. That's nice. You're just going to kill the father and make him a priest. Fantastic. And Aaron died there.
Like they're not even going to wait till Aaron Ra's dead yet. Just strip him.
I don't get any of this. Like
he didn't have a ticket for the Promised Land. This reminds me of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
He was your priest. Yeah. Keep on
where
going.
He punches he punches the colonel and throws him out of the blimp. It's like no ticket. Yeah, Aaron didn't have a ticket for the Promised Land, so he got ejected.
Whoa!
Yeah, he was the lead priest. He's been this God's bitch for how long? Doing everything this God says, getting his kids smoted right in front of him, not saying anything, keeping it moving, keep serving God.
Keep
and
it
he
moving,
fucking fucks up with a fucking rock, and he's done.
Hit a rock. So that's it. He hit a rock twice,
Yeah.
and he's dead.
That's it. He's done. He's done, son.
Dude.
Not one and done, two and done.
How is this moral? I sound like a broken record, but at least I'm not a god who kills people for hitting a rock twice. Jesus.
It's like getting cut out of your parents' will for, I don't know, something stupid and completely trivial.
Or like falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
Oh, that's it. You're out of the will now.
Out of the will. Like they tell you to hit a gong for dinner, and you hit the gong for dinner twice. And so they now need to kill you. Strip and die. And when all the congregation saw that Aaron-Ra was dead, they were like, fuck this god, and now we need to leave. Oh no, they didn't do that? Oh, okay. They mourned for Aaron-Ra 30 days, even all the house of Israel. Wow, even all the house of Israel, Shmishmael, how nice of them.
Very nice of them.
Does it come with a 30-day money-back guarantee?
He got a state funeral.
Got a state funeral. Dude, what in the hell? And all right, we got one more chapter to go, and then we're going to switch it over into the open mic. My lordy, that was a pound of wisdom. Ugh. I almost was going back and forth whether to go make the whole episode to Aaron, because it's such a big moment, and just call it Aaron-Ra's death, because we've been following this guy for so freaking long, and just like that, he's now gone. And for something so freaking stupid. Like, it is stupid. I'm sorry. You know, I am not one to prejudge. Don't want to be prejudiced. No. But sometimes you need to judge, and that is dumb.
Hitting a rock twice.
What is going on here, Bible? What is going on?
I mean, not that the concept of hitting a rock to get water is dumb in and of itself, but I mean, to say, well, I mean, hey, you can hit a rock once to get water, but you couldn't hit a rock twice to get water. That would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous. That would be crazy.
And all right, the Israelites make a deal with God. Deliver the Canaanites to us,
used car salesman now,
and we will kill them all. Yeah,
God's making deals. He's making deals.
Dude, he went from selling cars to becoming an assassin for hire. What the hell is this guy doing?
You get killed. You get killed. You get killed.
And more prejudice for the Canaanites. Fantastic. Who I've spoken to people of much better expertise than myself who have said there's a high probability that Judaism came and was inspired from a Canaanite-like region. And so
almost certainly.
They are basically angry at their neighbors. Like,
well,
guys
their
like
God,
a mile away.
Their God, he uses different names in the original text. El Shaddai.
Jealous.
Now, the Canaanites had a God with a very similar sounding name. That name was El Shaddai. So you might get the impression that they're the same, one and the same. Maybe.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe.
And okay, the book of Numbers, chapter 21. We have 4 scoopings here. We have Forever 21. We have violence, but we also have not just violence and injustice, because we like to keep things rolling, but of course, it is our lovely prejudice, as we were talking about just before. Stupid. Poke. Because why would you want to have in-group and out-group, or why wouldn't you? and then more laughter because this is ridiculous.
Did you have the
Oy,
octopus?
oy, oy.
Was that the octopus one?
I feel I want to get like a different octopi. I feel
Yeah.
like it should be, or I want to make a scary thing. I feel bad because he's a cute octopi. I feel
He's a
bad
cute
throwing him under the
octopus.
bus.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do. But it is weird how the Bible has, but I guess it's not so weird for them. If you're going to have a chosen people, the in group and out group, it just seems weird from a chosen God.
Yeah.
Or from an almighty God. You would think you would be a God for everybody, which is what the Christians, I guess, are selling. But it's
Back
just,
then, at this time, it's
doesn't make
clear that he
sense at this
wasn't.
time. It's clear that he wasn't. It's
Because
clear.
they're not out trying to convert everybody to Judaism. It's not an issue. It's not something they have to do or they're told to do.
Nope, nobody is converting, and there is no proselytization. I would not want to be this dude's chosen people. Like, glad I walked away from this religion. Well, the God doesn't exist, but if he did exist, I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna hang out with Steve and Sarah over here. You guys do you. All right. So the Israelites make a deal with God. Numbers chapter 21.
Deal with the devil, basically.
Deal
We'll
with
call
the
him God
devil.
for right now.
Mwahaha.
We'll
And
just
when
call him God.
Arid, the Canaanite, which dwelt in the south side, heard tell that Israel Shmishmael came by the way of spies. What was the SNL thing, or was that
For what?
Mad Max, where they had a spy versus spy? I think that was it.
I never saw that.
Yeah, you would see it if you saw. You would understand if you saw the cartoon version. Spy versus spy. It's like the two spies diametrically opposed. Then he fought against Israel Shmishmael and took some of them prisoners. This is about to get kinky. When the Canaanite king heard that Israel had sent spies, he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. How are there? Okay, I was gonna say
what?
for a second, I thought it was the Israelites being spied on, and I was like, how did God get out of you? Okay, they're sending spies into there. Okay. Why do they need spies, though? Shouldn't God be able to spy on them? And Israel Shmishmael vowed a vow. That is a funny sentence. They vowed a vow unto the Lord Bob, and said, if thou wilt indeed deliver my DoorDash, this people into my hand, then I will utterly give them hugs. Buy them candy. Give us surprise birthday party. No.
Birthday suit.
Their birthday suit. I will utterly destroy their cities because I am the nice, gentle, all-loving God.
All your cities belong to me.
Belong to us. Your base. Good times. Good memeing times. Base. Your base. And the Lord Bob hearkened to the voice of Israel Shmishmael. Did you buy a record? Are you singing?
Karaoke.
Oh, that's nice. And delivered up the Canaanites, and they utterly destroyed them and their cities. And he called the name of the place Dairy Queen. No, I'm just kidding. I love Dairy Queen. I don't know why I said Horma. God listened to the voice of Pornhub. God listened to the voice of Ishmael, Shmishmael, delivered the Canaanites, and the Israelites destroyed them and their cities. Nice guys. And they listened
Gotta
to
love,
journey
yeah.
music from Mount Hor. By the way, that's what it says, of the Red Sea. Happens every once in a while. Be a real man. Get down there. To compass the land of eat 'em up, all those appetizers, and the soul stone of the people was much discouraged because this is not the way, said the
RuneScape.
Mandalorian. RuneScape, exactly. So what did we just say? When the Canaanite God heard that Israel had sent spies, he fought against Israel and took some of them prisoners. Israel vowed to God, that's what vows are, and said, if you deliver the Canaanites into my hand, I will destroy their cities. Nice guy. God listened to the voice of Israel, delivered the Canaanites, and the Israelites destroyed them and their cities. Whew. After destroying the Canaanites, the Israelites journeyed from Mount Hor, round the land of Edom, by the way of the Red Sea, and the Israelites were discouraged. Okay.
I'd be discouraged too.
I would too. God sends snakes to bite the Israelites. No. For complaining. Yo, this dude gets back at everyone who complains. He is the most vindictive, petty little SOB. It's kind of funny. Like, it's kind of funny how human he really is. Like, this is not the best of us. Whew.
And I think most of us, we have that little bit of inclination in there when we feel slighted or you feel attacked by somebody. Like, hey, I'm doing the best I can. Why are you bitching? Why are you complaining? But this guy takes it to the extreme. And yeah, they are rock snakes.
Rock snakes. That's pretty metal, I will say. All right, so we got a whole smorgasbord of categories. Clearly, we got to laugh, or else we would kind of go a little delirious because God is sending snakes to bite again. Hey, the snakes get another workout. I wonder if it's not the Satan snake, but at least they're getting their second chance. Which also means violence. A stabby, stabby. But not just the stabby. It's also going to be unjust because this God kind of makes no sense. And of course, we were dealing with rock water, and now God is about to send us snakes. So clearly, we're about to get some science, some biblical science. When you asked about creationists, where do they get their science from? Right here, ladies and gentlemen, from the Bible.
Do we really need a separate category of biblical science? Shouldn't the Bible just be all science?
I know, just 24/7. You would think it'd be great insights too. Stuff that would be like, wow, how did we ever do without this? The germ theory of disease, it's right here. Right here, it says it.
Yeah.
And wow, it's weird.
Close your Pornhub, Newman.
It almost looks like there's a contradiction in the Bible. But that can't be true. If there's a contradiction in the Bible, we would have been able to point. Like, this would have been a recurring thing, I think, if there were contradictions in the Bible.
That would be like the Sasquatch, the Bigfoot, because, you need a population of them. If you just have one,
Exactly. Can't just have one.
Reproduce.
It's like Pringles. But I guess they'll have to prove it to us. I guess we'll have to see if there's actually a contradiction for the first time in the Bible. And all right, ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined us, we are reading Aaron's death, a fiery serpent, and the edge of a sword, as we read Numbers chapter 21. Boo-boo-hoo, hoo-hoo-hoo. God sends
go.
snakes to bite the Israelites. And the people spat. They spat all up against their goddess and against Charlton Heston. Yo, they just put God and Moses in the same category. Whatever's happening, they are both rubbing up against each other. Wherefore have ye brought us out of New York to die in the wilderness of RuneScape and let all of my items drop on the floor? For there is no bread, and I would like some butter. I can't even believe it's butter.
Can you believe it's not butter?
I can't. Neither is there any water. A big glass from the rock. And don't hit that rock twice. Man, that's going to be... Is that not going to be something we're going to now be talking
That's
about?
a new one. Yeah, that's another one of the hits.
Jesus.
Hit the rock twice.
Don't hit that rock twice. God will kill the high priest. Literally doing more than Moses. Moses is like the teacher's pet, maybe, but like the actual choreographer.
Aaron's the one down on the ground
doing his actual thing. Yeah, he's the one getting all the work done.
Making the fucking golden calf.
And the Lord Bob sent fiery serpents. This is Harry Potter shit. Like, God is I know which house God would be in, clearly.
What's that one?
Slytherin. He's Team Serpent, it seems. I thought Serpent, he had like
Team
a
Serpent.
thing against serpents. But seems like he's come around on that. Also, that's what she said. We're gender neutral here, baby. We like it all. And the Lord Bob sent fiery serpents. It cost the visual effects department a lot among the people, and they bit the people. Yo, dude, regular snakes bite people. Why were they fiery? Like, it wasn't like the fiery snakes.
Make them more scary.
I know. But it's just funny.
It's like sharks with laser beams around their heads.
Yeah.
Fiery snakes. I want snakes, but I want them to be fiery snakes. I want them to be more scary.
It really is one of those moments. He just wanted serpents with fire.
I don't want just serpents. I want to shoot fire like Super Mario Brothers style. Just, yeah.
And they bit the people because that's what snakes do. They were like, "Why are we alive?" And they bit people. And much of the people of Israel Shmishmael died. Yeah,
they're probably mad God made them on fire.
Yeah. Woohoo! What's up, Skywatcher?
Hey, Skywatcher.
Oh,
you'll have to stay active for detention.
I'm handing out textbooks. Here we go. That's right.
Diarrhea from God.
In our detention, we give more. We only give the whippings if you're into that. What are we talking about? Anyway, therefore, the people came. Oh, sorry. To Moses.
Wrong one.
Charlton Heston. And said, "We have sinned. No. For we have spoken against the Lord Bob." I mean, in fairness, they all do. "And against thee. Pray unto the Lord Bob that he take away these fucking video game level serpents away from us." And Charlton Heston prayed for the people. This is something you see in Zelda. I'm pretty sure, it reminds me of the fire bats. Okay.
Video game shit, yeah.
It does. It reminds me of this shit. The people came to Moses, Kinky.
You have to defeat the boss, which is a fiery snake. There you go.
Yeah, and actually, let me get the full context.
Video game boss.
He does. And once again, this is not what the superhero does. This is what the villain does. The people spoke against God and Moses, saying, "Why did you make us leave Egypt to die in the wilderness? There is no bread and water, and we hate this light bread." God sent fiery serpents to bite the people, and many died. The people came to Moses and said, Ooh, excuse me. That's what they
Said,
said.
yo,
Amazing.
Moses, the deal with this fucking fiery snakes. What the fuck, Moses?
Yeah, what the hell is with the fiery snakes? We have sinned by criticizing you and God. Ask God to take away the serpents, and Moses prayed for the people. How nice.
Okay, God. They're really, really sorry. They would like to stop being bitten by fiery snakes.
Which is
God's
such
like, I'll
a
bet they are
random
fucking
thing.
sorry. I'll bet they
Yeah, I
are
bet
fucking
they are.
sorry now. What's the
But once
complaint
again,
department?
right
The complaint
behind
department
here,
is filled with fiery snakes.
yeah, it's filled with people who disagreed and learned real quickly what a pile of ashes feels like. Anyway, moving along into God tells Moses to make a fiery serpent. I don't remember this shit at all by Hebrew school. Once again, I'm sorry, but what? There was a fiery snake? God was sending the fiery snakes? Now Moses is sending fiery snakes. So we have 3 more scoopings. Wait, 3? That's weird.
This is where we get the signal for the medicine, Amy. You know that the snakes on the pole, like the symbol of.
Oh my
God.
God! Is this the thing that makes all these preachers die?
The
The
snake
snake
on the
handling
pole.
preachers?
No. This is not it.
Oh, okay.
No. This is like when you look at like a doctor's emblem or whatever, and there's like a snake on a pole. That's where this verse right here is where that comes from.
I thought that was a Roman thing.
No, it comes from
The do no harm type of thing.
that's the Hippocratic Oath, but this is just an emblem.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it came from this. And I know about the Hippocratic Oath. I just thought that I thought there was like
on the pole.
I thought the emblem was like a god of healing or something from the Romans, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's from this. Serpent and Moses, Charlton Heston made a serpent. Oh wait, no, I'm skipping here. I didn't even get the categories.
You didn't even finish the category.
Missed the fact that there is laughing, some science, and wait a second.
A heave offering? A meat offering?
No, it's
a
just
wave offering.
I think this is
Trespass
actually saying
offering.
there's a contradiction in the Bible. That's weird.
It's probably just another offering, a contradiction
Just
offering.
another offering. Exactly.
A contradiction offering.
It probably means that the people that defied God contradicted themselves. That's what it means.
There you go.
And all right, Numbers 21. God tells Moses to make a fiery serpent, and the Lord Bob said unto Charlton Heston, become Harry Potter or become Draco Malfoy. I'm trying to use my nerdiness, baby. Make thee a fiery serpent. Spend all of the budget. Just pump it up, and set it right upon my pole. Oh my. And it shall come to pass. Whatever you're into, that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. What? And Moses, our main man, Charlton Heston, made a serpent of pure brass and put it upon his pole. And that then made it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, you're going to probably have to use your mouth to drain the venom. Wait, what were we talking about again? When he beheld the serpent of brass.
The brass stick.
Yeah. Brass stick, baby. God said to Moses, make a fiery serpent, put it on a pole. Whoever looks at it will live after being bit by a fiery serpent. So Moses made a brass serpent and put it on a pole. Whoever was bitten by a serpent didn't die if they looked at it. Once again, some real science out here.
Who needs science when you got magic?
That's right. If you believe in magic. If you believe in me taking many swigs of what I'm going to call drinks. I'm sure that's what they are.
Is that what you call it?
That's what I call it. Lots of protein,
It's
baby.
got a floater. That's what they call that, a floater.
Being what I would like to say is just, it's full service down here. Isn't that right, Gavin? Oh, that's right. It's a whole.
Gavin's got a mouthful down there, doesn't he?
Mouthful. I did ask James about modern day debate. So maybe on Praise's channel, maybe on MDD. We're still trying to figure that out.
Okay.
I keep on putting more to be continues. There's about as many ... as I can on there. But the emails, they're being exchanged, ladies and gentlemen.
An infinite set of dots.
Infinite set of dots. And I will say, I'm sending a shout out to anybody. If there are theists out there, I love debating myself. So come on down and we could set that up. Or if you would like to debate someone else, we need to start getting more debate me broads.
Yeah, we do need time for another one.
Shall come to pass. I thought that said everyone that is kitten. Would have been so much cuter. All right. So God said to Moses, make a fiery serpent and put it on a pole. Whoever looks at it will live after being bit by a fiery serpent. I like how it has to be a fiery serpent pole that like is the anti-venom to the fiery serpent, as if oh man, this book. So Moses made a brass serpent and put it on a pole. Whoever was bitten by a fiery serpent didn't die if they looked at it. And I just want you to know, Farron, I consider myself a master debater. I master debate in the morning. I master debate in the evening. And sometimes I master debate in the shower. Anyway,
Double tap.
Moving on forward. Hey, I do too. Gotta get those zombies. You gotta get those zombies.
Zombie Jesus.
The Journey from Obath. Is that like a store? Is that Bed Bath & Beyond? The Journey from Bed Bath & Beyond.
It's like Bed Bath & Beyond meets Woolworths.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on one second. We have our lovely category up here, which is obviously filled with excitement. You can see that she is taking a nap, but that's okay. She's so cute. She can sleep. Exactly. But while there's also a good helping of laughter, because when you think of the Bible, I feel like my first go-to is laughter. You're like, oh man, I can't wait to go to Sunday school. Can't wait to get on my fancy clothes so I can get a good chuckle.
I'll tell you, that's how I made it through church. For a while, we should troll the church before we were even atheists.
Well, I also think this is why atheists don't get invited back a lot, because there's like a switch that flips where you go as an atheist, where you go from not wanting to go to church to where I'm almost excited. I'm like, no, send me. You want me to go to a church? Could we read the chapters that I pick? We could have a whole Bible study, baby, right here. What is up,
Send in the tranny.
Woo-hoo, that's right, baby. The Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'm filled with love.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex, his two arms up front, they were pretty puny. I mean, you could probably rip one of those off and kill that T-Rex, and you'd have dinner for a month.
But James, there's no evidence that birds came from Tyrannosaurus rexes. Did you know that? That's just those
That's what I heard.
evolutionists. Those silly evolutionists. Or as we like to call them, people who understand biology.
Oh,
What?
like biologists?
What? Was I talking? Oh, I'm so sorry. Ba-ba-bum. All right, let's get into the journey from Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm sure it's going to be exhilarating. And the
I want one of those
children
bath
of the
bombs.
of Israel Shmishmael. I get the feeling one of those words that you just said is going to be close.
Yeah.
Though there's no violence, I think, in this chapter, so maybe not. No violence.
For once. We haven't
for
had
once.
that in a while.
You can't have
Nobody's
violence
getting
in
killed.
Bed Bath & Beyond. Those, it just smells too good. And pitched a tent in Oboth-Titif. And they journeyed from Oboth-Titif and pitched at Labraham in the wilderness of RuneScape, where they fought hard and shot arrows, which was before Mobabub toward the sun rising.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense now.
That was also my friend in high school, Mobabub. And thence they removed and pitched in the valley of... Why do we shop at Jared? Zared? That almost sounds like cool. That sounds like what a guy named himself like in high school. He was like, I don't want to be like John, so I'm going to come into school as Zared. He dyes his hair black.
Shaves his eyebrows.
Oh man, let me tell you, you can do many things. Do not shave your eye. I'll let you. Women put them back on. Just if you're gonna put them,
Pencil them back on.
Let me tell you, yeah, it's hard to put them back on. But eyeliner looks good on everybody. Eyeliner looks good on guys or girls. I just this is your what the hell?
Yeah, doorknob head. X marks the spot.
X marks the spot, baby. This is your advertisement. Birds and Jake says birds didn't come from dinosaurs. Are you saying that birds aren't attracted to dinos? Yes, I am saying that birds, they kind of look at dinosaurs and they're like, man, I would go for it, but they're just out of my league. They're just too tall. They want to. No. You silly evolutionists. And also, I will say, if you want to see your comment read on screen, ladies and gentlemen, with the wisdom of all the Bible, keep on sending in your comments at Amy Newman. Helps me sort things out. We'll catch him. I will. God has kind of become like Carmen Sandiego. He's showing up all the time right now. He's taking names and kicking ass. But all of a sudden, he's gotten kind of shy. From thence thy removed and pitched on the other side of Aaron Ra, which is in the wilderness of RuneScape that cometh. Do you cometh, James?
Not enough.
Not enough. Out of the coasts of the Amoritetans. For, I was going to say Aaron Ra, but we know that guy's dead. For Arnon.
Yeah. He met the baker.
Yeah, the baker.
He met the baker.
Is the border of Moab. Between Moab and Amorites.
Moab's like the department store nobody ever goes to.
Yeah. Wherefore it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord Bob, what he did in the Red Sea stays in the Red Sea. You can also gamble there.
Oh, and someone peed in the pool again.
Damn it. And in the brooks of Aaron Ra. Is that what they gave him? And at the stream of the mill brooks that goeth down to the dwelling of Ar. Yar. Trying to think of The great Norm Macdonald joke. Hey, James, did you hear about the new violent pirate movie?
No.
Yeah, they say it's rated R.
Arr. Oh. Well,
I'll leave.
shiver me timbers.
No.
15
Send the love, Norm Macdonald.
15 chests on
Or
a dead
down.
man's rum. Yo ho ho. And a bottle of the chest.
Ho. That's right, baby. And at the stream of the Mill Brooks that goes down on Ar that dwell on the border of Moab. Okay, we read that. And from thence they went to get some beer. All right, now we're
Beer
talking.
run.
They went to beer.
A godless girl beer run. You know, that mid
Whatever
debate.
happened to Godless? I haven't seen. She was doing rounds a long time ago. Is she still doing her channel and shit?
I have not had the pleasure of looking at her
Pleasure
channel in quite a while.
She had a Discord thing like Darth Dawkins, but she used to be doing all this YouTube stuff.
I think she was like her 15 minutes are over, maybe.
That could be true. But it doesn't matter if you're on Twitch, if you're on Facebook, or you are on the YouTube community. James and I are here to just send you love. We're having fun.
Come on down.
That's right, baby. And you will be able to come on down because we are 2/3, 3/4 through our chapters, and pretty soon we are going to be switching into about a half an hour of open mic.
We'll see how many people want to come in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said.
That's what he said. And if you don't want to show your pretty face, we then head over to the Discord afterwards for that. So there's just two scoops.
Discord.
Exactly. Get it on, baby. But okay, we're about to sing a song or something, which is what you do when you talk about beer. I mean, now we're starting. The Bible's finally starting to talk some sense. All right.
Kumbaya.
I'm always going to think of Darth Dawkins now with that song. That's so funny.
Listening to Darth sing that song, yeah, it's amazing.
It's in my head.
Kumbaya.
All right, Newman. Fuck us.
Kumbaya, Newman.
I'm trying to think a northeastern. You gotta reach up here, real up here. I can't get it. It's almost like you want to sell insurance. No, it's older. That's too young. I gotta work on a Darth Dawkins.
Yeah.
It's hard. They say you impersonate best the people you love, which means that I just have to have a little love in my heart for Kent Hovind. I don't want to say it, but it might be all the letter that he had. It might have been to buy my seminar DVD 1, 2, and 6. You can't have a Boston. It's not with an air, because the Boston's saying air. You just want to go up a little bit, but he's not like that. He's not. He has a little.
He's a little much.
It ain't Bill Burr. It ain't. Oh Jesus. Trying to feel him out, but I can't. Also, that would be hot. Darth, I'm just trying to feel you, baby. Just trying to feel you.
Don't get Darth excited like that. Don't tease him unless you're going to do it. Yeah.
Ooh. I just want to have a Socratic gangbang. Don't get angry. All right. I'm sorry. I went AFK in the wilderness, and that's not a good thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. If you're an MMO player, never go AFK in a PvP zone. I'm so sorry. All right, let's go through this. Yeah. That would be bad. And we're drunk. We're drinking beer. That is whereof the Lord spake all over onto Moses and Charlton Heston, but not onto Aaron Ra, because he's dead.
But at least they stripped him first, so don't worry about it. At least
they stripped him. At least his son stripped him so he could take over his position before they killed his dad. And it's good that he took over his position because his 2 or 4 dead brothers to the side couldn't have taken position over. So
yeah, the pickings were kind of slim.
Yeah, exactly. Glad we tightened that bow up. All right. Gather the people together, and I will give them some sweet, precious, pure rock water. I love it. Then Israel Shmishmael sang this song once again. Kind of makes sense. You're drinking that beer. Not hating on good beer.
Kumbaya. Oh, no,
Just
not
saying.
that song.
Not that song. Spring up. Oh, well. Sing ye unto it. Ah, good. Hopefully no one dies. The princesses dig the well. The nobles...
He's got Diana Smith out there digging that well.
No, I was going to say, I think Diana Smith, she's just out there watching. She's like, what are these schmucks doing? Why are they digging a well for this asshole of a god? That's what I think Diana
That's a good question.
Honestly, I feel bad when I say that, like, or almost to tip your fedora when I say, like, he's a horror movie villain, almost a caricature at sometimes. And then he goes around killing people, and you're like, maybe it's not as much a stereotype.
Yeah. Whatever. Keep digging the well, bitch.
I mean, they give a shit for... This is not a Sky Daddy. This is a supervillain.
A Sky...
He's not a good dad. He's not a good dad. Like, I want
Sky Mafia boss.
Kills. Yes. Oh, man. All right. We're moving. Gather the people together. I'm going to get you that juicy, juicy rock water. And we're singing. We're digging wells. The nobles of the people digged it. It's about time they did something. Where did we even get nobles from? Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't explain
that. By the direction of the lawgiver.
Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd, baby. Hold on. What gun? Does he use a pistol? This for?
It is like a pistol, but it's a big one, I think.
Of a pistol. That's
what
it's
a big one, though. Yeah, that's what he said.
Big one. Okay, you're making me reach. Also, that's what she said. Cereal. Just hold my little thing off. That's what she said. Yes. That's James Bond, but Judge Dredd. And all right, so let us move forward. Sometimes I have little spurts of
craziness. Oh well, yeah.
Same thing. Same exact thing, James. Same exact thing. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. All right. Let me pretend I'm just... No, I keep on going, Ken Hovind. I can't help it. And from Manhattan to Nathaniel, and from Nathaniel to Behemoth, because those are way cooler names. No. Barmouth here. And from Behemoth, in the valley that is in the country of Moab, to the top of Pisgah? Pisgah. Sure.
Pisgah.
Which looketh
Italy.
Pisgah. Which looketh towards Jessamine. Those are my buddies. What did they just say? Let's get some meditations here. The Israelites journeyed to Obith, Abram, Zared, and the other side of Aaron. You can read about their travels in the Book of Wars of the Lord. Wow. Okay.
It's another book to check out, huh?
The Book of Wars by God. Okay, that's cool. Whatever. No, nice guy. He's the hero. The book will describe
the best
in detail,
guy. Best God ever.
The best guy. Some people are saying. Some people are telling me. What he did in the Red Sea, the brooks of Aaron and the streams of brooks and the dwelling of Ar. From where they went to Beer and sang his song, spring up a well, sing to it, the princes, and people dug it with their staves. Then they went to Mentana, and Nanol, and Bamoth, and to the top of Pisgah. Whew.
Made it.
Made it. As I scream, the Israelites take many cities with the edge of a sword. That's
Best
how
way
you
to do
know
it.
they're the good guys. That's how you
Well,
know,
of course,
ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen.
Sharp.
Sharp. Those pixels, they
Yay.
cut. Very sharp pixels. All right. As we read, the Israelites take many cities with the edge of a sword. There is 2 categories here tonight. We have both injustice. It's like our peanut butter. And then we
Keeps
need
popping
to
up,
put our
doesn't it?
chocolate. It's amazing how much injustice and violence comes up in the Bible. And they read this to kids. And the kids are like, well, it's freaking boring. But then all of a sudden someone dies. And you're like, I thought they were just naming dukes. Huh? No.
Close,
Close.
but wrong.
But wrong. All right. This is actually the... so we got 2 sections left. I'm going to finish this section. And then I'm going to be sending the link into chat. So you out there in the internet sphere could tell us about the wisdom that we have been experiencing right after we go into our open mic from finishing the chapters. And all right, the Israelites take many cities with the edge of the sword. Numbers chapter 21, as we read Aaron's death, a fiery serpent, and of course, the edge of a sword. And Israel Shishmael sent messengers on to Shalkong, king of the Amorite. I was going to say, we should turn it around. It should be, and let me pass through thy land and thy, are you going to, thou shalt let me pass in thick thighs. We will not turn into the fields or into the vineyards. We will not drink of that sweet, sweet rock water. But we will go along by the Queen's highway from the Queen's gamut until we pass thy borders. I'm sorry, what? Israel sent messengers to, Simon says, Shion, king of the Amorites, saying, let me pass through your land. Your line too. We won't trespass on your fields or vineyards or drink water from your wells. We'll stay on the King's highway until we leave your land. What's up, Tinkle? And Shion and Sion. Let's just pretend Sion. That sounds better. And Sion would not suffer Ishmael Shmishmael to pass through his border. He was like, get off my lawn. But Sion gathered all his people together, and they're like, let's take him on. And went out against Israel Shmishmael into the wilderness of RuneScape, and he came. To Jazz. Came to Jazz. Good choice. And fought against Israel Shmishmael. I'm sorry, what? Israel sent messengers to Sion, king of the Amorites, saying, let me pass through your land. We won't trespass on your fields or vineyards or drink water from your wells. We'll stay on the king's highway until we leave your land. Oh, yeah, sure. This is going to go well. I think someone said that in chat. It was like, oh, no, totally. Definitely going to go well. But Shion wouldn't let me pass through this land. He gathered all his people to fight against Israel. You know what? I have been waiting for a time when things do go well in the Bible. Like, it never has a happy ending. Like, my lordy, like, this gives Grimm's fairy tales run for their money. Like, it really does. And Israel Shmishmael smote him. God killed a man. And Israel smote him. No, the Israelites, God's chosen people. I'm sorry. Just his chosen people. God's chosen dudes that he's like, we're going to be real tight because I'm a God and I seem to need a group of dudes, need to have a bunch of lasses and lads. Smote him with the edge of a sword and possessed his land. Ooh, is it haunted? From Aaron onto Jacob's ladder. Even onto the children of, oh man. For the border of the children of, oh man, was strong. They really great borders. 4 or 5 stars on Yelp. And Israel, Shmishmael, took all these cities because that is what the good guys do, ladies and gentlemen. They take cities. And Israel Shmishmael dwelt in all the cities of the Amorites. Oh, nice. You're just going to squat. Okay, fine. You going to pay? Yeah. And Heshbon. Well, I would say pay, but they took the cities via violence. I make jokes, but they're actually doing it. They are just ravaging cities. And Heshbon, and in all the villages thereof. You couldn't think of any other way. Can't you just... I swear, theists must hate the Thanos saga. They're like, dude, now we have to listen to these Thanos snap analogies over and over. But really, God couldn't just snap them out of existence. We have to go through all these shenanigans. Sure. I mean, it makes sense when you need a story, when you are a group of people just passing down literature through oral tradition that eventually got written down. It just doesn't make sense when it's literal. Because that would mean this guy's a dick, a really big dick, and that he has a bunch of dicklets following him. Wonderful. And for Heshbon was the city of Sion, the king of Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab and taken all his land out of his hand. Oh, man. And even onto Arnon, because Arn Ra is dust. Wherefore they speak in proverbs, say, come. Oh, sorry. Into Heshbon. Oh, kinky. Let the city of Sinai, the city of Zion, get some matrix in here, be built and prepared. For there is a fire nation gone out of Heshbon, a flame from the city of Shion.
Flame.
That's right, baby. Flame on. Places of Arnon. Flame from the city of Sion. It hath consumed Ar of Moab. Ar. That's what it says. Of Moab. And the lords of the high places of Arnon. Woe to thee, Moab. Thou art...
Got your skull there, Amy?
I know, so dramatic, so extra. Thou art undone, O people of Chemosh. He hath given his sons that escaped. That's what you all should be doing right now. I don't know how to tell you this.
Run.
And his sons into captivity unto Sion, queen of the Amorites.
Sion?
What? Sion, yes, the Zion.
Purple Sion, yeah.
Which is coming full circle in that joke because the city of Zion in the Matrix, I think, comes from the Bible. Picky. We've come so full circle, people. We have, this is getting fun. We have shot at them.
Oh. The lawgiver. Yeah. So much for parachuting the tranny in with an M4.
Is it gonna? Okay. Oh, there. I was gonna say all that from a single bullet, ladies and gentlemen. A single bullet. That's amazing. So amazing. You can just see my face stop. I was like, is it gonna end? Is it gonna end? It's
No.
shooting forever. It goes on and on forever, folks. This is the story that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. Actually, it doesn't, because we are about to be coming to, that's what she said, the end of our chapters for the night. The King of
Amy is John Rambo tonight. That's right.
That's right, baby. We have shot at them. Apparently, we went all Rambo. Heshbon is perished. Even on to Dildoban. That's what it says, probably.
Where?
I might be adding a little.
Oh.
Dildoban. Makes sense. And
Poetic license.
Poetic. It's poetry. And we have laid them waste, even onto Nopapuff.
Even.
No,
Wow.
Even
unto no papa.
I know, not Nopapa.
Listen, when you go to no papa, you know, shit got real.
Yo, but it's okay, because when you reacheth and get a reacheth around onto Medav, it'll be okay. Okay. That's why the proverbs say, come into Heshbon, let the city of Sion be built. Fire came out of Heshbon and burned Ar. Woe to you, Mebab. We have shot at them. Heshbon has died. We have killed it. Okie dokie.
Sounds very poetic.
Very poetic.
Yeah.
And all right, we are actually coming, that's what he or she said, to the last bit here, to the end of our chapters, which means I am going. I know. It was a combo because the next one is a long one. So we wanted to wrap this up. It was a lot of fun, but we're going to go for, like I said, 30 minutes to an hour of open mic. So I'm going to get
fiery snakes. Who wouldn't love that? Fiery snakes.
We got some Zelda action on here. And all right, I'm sending it into chat. Boopity boo.
Zippity doo dah.
Zippity doo dah day. And the only thing we ask, do remember to keep your microphone muted when not speaking so we can get clean sound bites and it sounds good for the folks at home. Tell them for the folks at home what a link is. No. I'm going to become Norm at one point. I can't help it. And with that, we're going to move into the last section of Numbers chapter 21. So God delivers the original OG into Moses' hand. Og himself. And
he, by the way, is one of the giants. They claim he was a giant.
Really?
King Og, yeah. He must have been like 15 feet tall.
Well, James, you know what they say about size.
It matters?
Sometimes you just need a little bit extra, okay? That's all I'm saying. All right. So God delivers OG into Moses' hands. We have a few fun categories. We have
a ball of chuckles.
Violence, which has been keeping us going tonight. Look, if you don't have sex, you gotta have a little violence, okay? You can't have none, or else what are you gonna sell? All right, folks.
A snooze fest.
Probably weird. But also, we have not just violence and injustice. We gotta go back to that lovely prejudice that we've been delivering all night. We got the in group, we got the out group. You know it, you love it. what would it be without it? But also, finally, and
You haven't had this one in a while.
the Jado-Christian community just loves talking about those family values. They're
Yeah, you haven't
so
got that in a while.
adorable. I know. And so I'm glad that we're finally going to see more biblical morality from why won't someone think of the women and children. That's always very important. All right, God delivers OG into Moses' hands. We're going to find out.
So he's got OG's rod basically in his hands.
I really want to know how Moses dies. I know there are people out there. No spoilers, because I want to know if it's just gonna be like
It's
something
no frills.
no frill. Yeah,
Yeah.
I bet it's gonna be no
Yeah.
frills. But
No
our
frills.
fucking Aaron, he gets he said
Stripped.
nothing and got
Stripped
a
and
big
clipped.
death. Yeah. Woo,
Stripped
thank
and
you
clipped.
so very much, Tinkle. You know, I should do our Aunt Jur once said I should do like a wish list for props. Become like try and fill up as many as I can. Wasn't a terrible idea. But I can't help it. I love my props. Da-da-da. Just having a good old look. What do you think, Brain Buddy? He agrees.
What you gonna say? Brain bug.
Brain Bug. Hey, send the love to Brain Bug.
Okay, brain bug.
And all right, God delivers us OG into Moses' hands, and then we'll go for about 30 minutes, hour, open mic. So now's your chance.
Open
If
mic.
not, we're just going to be heading to the Discords. But
I'm gonna whip it out and head to this
Numbers chapter 21, as we've been reading Aaron's death, a fiery serpent and the edge of a sword. Thus Israel Shemishmael dwelt in the land of. Am I right? No, you're not. You're not right. You're about to die probably. And Charlton Heston sent to spy out on jazz hands. And they took the villages thereof and drove out the, am I right, that were there. And they turned and went up by the way of Banshees. And OG, king of Banshee in Bansheean, it's where other Banshees live, went out against them, he and all his people, and his land, and thou shalt do to him as thou didst unto Sion, king of the, am I right, which dwelled at Heshbon. Oh, good to know. So they gave him kisses. No? So they gave him his 401k. No? Oh. So they smote him. Oh,
Close.
okay. And his daughters and all his people until there were none left alive. Wow. And they possessed all her land.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's called an extermination, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's called killing everybody. But okay. So let's see. The Israelites lived in the land of Amorites. Moses sent spies to Jazer, and the Israelites drove out the Amorites who lived there. They went by the way of Banshan, and Og, the king of Banshan, fought against them. God said to Moses, "Don't be afraid of Og. You're going to be afraid of Ugg boots? You're going to be that much of a basic bitch? I have delivered them through you to Amazon, and all of his people into your hand." Kind of sticky, but you do you. You shall do to him as you did to Sion, which probably means death. So the Israelites killed him. Once again, guys, this is the good ones. These are the this is the superhero? I don't know what to call them. This is the guy you're supposed to be rooting for, the good guy. Killed him, his sons, and all his people, and then they took their land.
Well, since you guys aren't going to need it anymore, right?
Exactly. Picky, James. You don't need that anymore. My lordy, what a humble amount of wisdom. And with that, brings us to our Oh my lordy
wow.
lordy. Yeah. What do you think, James? Was it filled with as much wisdom as you thought?
Even more, really. I think it was
Even more.
even had a little bit of extra wisdom on top. It just kept flowing.
I'm trying to think if that's what he said or she said, but yes, it's just
You want a nice steady flow of wisdom, and that's what we get here.
and it's something I feel like knowledge we can take with us for thousands of years. How would anyone know that we should kill people in cold blood for making rock water?
And then, of course, with the snakes and whatnot, and the fiery snakes and everything. So, oh boy, we've already got a misfit back there.
All right, I see Amaretto, but I am going to put this link on the bottom. We are going to go for 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to tell us on all the wisdom that we have been hearing, then now is the time to do so. Or if you're like, you silly atheists, you guys have been reading it literally and just looking at the words and reading them. That's not how you're supposed to do it, okay? You need to understand the context. Well, then come on and tell us where we got it wrong.
Or come to the Discord.
But all right, we have a witch in the back.
And a cat, apparently.
And a cat. We are. This channel is very pro cat. With that, we are switching into our open mic. Amaretto, you're up to bat. Woohoo! Woohoo! We got 2 people on the stream tonight. We're sending.
Can't find the unmute button. I'm like, Yoko's like, Cat, you are so big, and you're blocking my screen.
Aww. They're interested. They're like, I want to be part of the stream. And so
why would you want to be looking at the computer and not me?
I know. There's so much more excitement right here. You could be petting me, but you're going to be looking at the screen.
Like, Amy, you could be petting her right now. Like this is what Amy like pets this cat so much when she comes over.
Because she's so adorable.
She is. I mean, yeah, Yoko is an adorable cat.
And okay, we have been Skeptic Bible studying on Aaron's death, a fiery serpent, and the edge of a sword. Hope you're doing well, Amaretto. And what are your thoughts?
So this Numbers is like a very dry read. Is kind of like it's so hard for me to pay attention. But I'm kind of like going back through and I'm like gathering my thoughts, and it's just I don't know if God said my son was gonna die because because you didn't listen. Like I'd be like, fuck you. I wouldn't take my son up to that mount. Like. That's my child. I think that's kind of bullshit. And it's almost just like going through like what we've been reading tonight. It's basically like, all right, gonna go over. You don't let us in. We're gonna take your land. We're coming whether you like it or not. It's just this is all like kind of like classic tribalism, classic you read about this kind of stuff in sociology and in world history all the time. So it's almost just like, all right, you're justifying, going into other people's places and not respecting, them and what they want because you think that, and coming from a theist, you think that it's ordained by a higher power and you've got that higher power on your side. I don't know. I just think it's very pompous and, you got to wonder whether or not, this was not, it's more manipulation, than actually actual God saying, do this and do this and do this. And, I just
and don't forget to do that.
Yeah.
That
Sorry,
too.
just to kind of like like I said, it's kind of like classic tribalism, and it's almost like, using religion to justify being dicks to everybody. Is everybody's using religion to kind of be like justify like violence, and that I don't really gel with in general. That's not what I like to go by. It's hold on, Robert. I was seeing like something Robert said in chat. It's very clear that Amaretto doesn't love God, or she will. Yeah, I think the God of the Old Testament for sure is a dick. So, and luckily for my faith, we take inspiration from it, but we don't follow all of the Christian tenets. So, yay. I don't think any one religious path has it correct. I think that there's definitely, people do bad things in the name of religion. Reading this kind of stuff, it's almost like, I wonder if this is what they use to justify the Crusades too.
Spread the good news.
Pretty much God saying like, God
Part
told
of it, yeah.
Moses to, so you have to wonder, I'm like, from this kind of specific instance alone, how many people have justified violence and used numbers to say, well, it's okay because, God says it so, if someone's not going to let you into their space, if someone's not going to, let you do something, you don't have to respect that. You can just go fuck it and take over. I don't gel with that. I don't know. I think it's just kind of bullshit. Most of the Bible, like my general philosophy on it, or general position, I guess you could say, is it's like carries the same weight to me as Aesop's fables. Yeah, sure, there's some good shit in there, but I don't know. This is probably the most doing the Bible study that I've like read the Bible since gosh, I was in like Sunday school, and I don't know. I just think that it's a bunch of bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit, especially some of these chapters. I'm like, what's the fucking point? What is?
Indeed.
I'm like, I didn't even get high tonight, and I probably should have, but maybe I would have gleaned a little bit more of that wisdom. I don't know, maybe some more of that Kool-Aid, right? Maybe would have gotten a little bit more out of it personally, but I don't think I don't think this puts Moses or God, the Christian God, in a good light per se. I think what would put God in a better light would be like, not through violence, but through mediation or something else. I think that's a better way to be than just, using violence straight up just to, I don't know. But I love you. It's 3 a.m. now. Saying I have to get caught. Like, this is how you show your girlfriend that you love her, is you stay up late for her stream and not get enough sleep.
Woohoo!
But I don't know. I'm gonna probably get ready to jump off, Amy. But I sent you text, so hit me up on the phone. But everybody, don't be like Moses and the Christian God. Be nice to one another. That would be great. We don't want to. No shanky. You just love. No shanky. Listen, shanky is only like with the knife. Yeah, shank it with the knife. That should only be reserved for very rare instances, or self-defense. Like, obviously, if someone's coming after you, but yeah, let's not be dicks to one another. And man, I don't know. We need to get some better, like, man, from a theist position, we gotta get some better fucking texts. Like, I don't fucking get why we're using this to fucking Inspired.
Amaretto, this is the inspired word of God.
This isn't fucking inspired. This is just bullshit. This is some dry ass bullshit is what this shit is. That's what it is. It's not I don't feel the least bit inspired, and I'm a fucking theist. If anything, I'm like,
I find that claim funnier. The more I read the Bible, that claim just gets funnier. Like, oh, he said firing snakes. Oh no, made total sense. Total sense. I played that level in Zelda. No, we're doing good.
I mean, like, and this is the thing, because there's a lot of games and media that a whole people on the internet, anybody who's watching this, you could probably throw a coin, and some form of media that we've consumed and have been fans of people have been either directly or indirectly inspired from religious texts like the Bible. But I don't know. I just don't see the point in, like I said, this does not make me feel inspired from a theistic position. This is one of those things where it's just like, well, yeah, no wonder, like, people think the Bible is bullshit. I'm like, who the fuck chose to put this story in? I'm like, you're basically going like, getting like water from rocks, and then basically God saying, yeah, your son dies here because you didn't listen. I'm like, like, this doesn't make me feel inspired. This just makes me feel like this is some manipulative bullshit. Like, I hate it. I hate it. 2 thumbs down. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. Go straight to jail. And, yeah, my God, I'll be so glad when we get through this, like, numbers. I'm telling you, it's nothing against you, Amy. It's just been as someone with, like, who's neurodivergent. I have ADHD, and this is such a dry fucking read. If you want to fucking write a fucking religious text, if you want people to be inspired by by faith and stuff, get some fucking better writing and storytelling. Like, Amy, because you did film. You did some film work. So it's just like, we could write a better fucking book than this.
Oh, you could make a better 10 Commandments on a napkin.
I mean, listen, I could, like, go inside the bedroom, like, have a fun time, and then come out, and the bed sheets would have more divine inspiration than whatever the fuck we just read, y'all. Like, hands down, I'm just saying. Like, it's bullshit. I think that it's quite a shame. And, I never read the Bible completely through, like, from cover to cover, because it was really hard to understand. And, like, I like the fact that we have the Skeptic's Annotated Bible now, because, whether you're coming from a theistic position, an agnostic position, or an atheist position, it's nice that it kind of can break things down into context. And then when you have that, it's almost like taking power out of, like, pastors' hands. Absolutely. And kind of giving people context, the contextual clues and interpretations, because, and let's just face it, there's been so many fucking versions of the Bible, not just, like, counting, language conversions from, like, for different places across the globe, but talking about, like, I mean, you have words being changed, phrases being changed, like in the King James Bible. I mean, that's probably one of the most prominent ones we know, because King James had a fear of witches, so he would change some of the dialogue. The words in the Bible were switched slightly so that it basically made witches seem bad.
I tell you, one of the most annoying things to me is the King James Bible has changed the word slave to servant. Now they have hired servant and servant.
And servant, yes.
They try and pull it off as if, like, servant was like a works program, but it's like, no, there's actually a works program in the Bible. They're the ones that get hired You see that word hired? That means they get money. You see the word servant? That was you glossing over them for being a slave.
Yeah, I do not dig it. I think that, the Bible has been used to justify a lot of bad things. And like I said, I come from a position where it's like, I feel like in this day and age, because religion has done so much harm and manipulation, I feel it's like, I'm not saying that, there isn't a need for religion per se, but I think some people like it. Some people do well. It gives them guidance. It gives them good things. Awesome. And then there's people who don't need it. And I support like what Randolph Richardson's doing. I think atheism should be normalized.
Mhm.
I think it's kind of bullshit that U.S. politicians specifically, you have to be religious to basically get elected. And I just think it's really dumb that, we're putting such prominence on a book where we have, like I said, we can understand this better now. We have the tools to kind of go through. Your normal, average, everyday person does. We don't just have to listen to what the preacher says to actually kind of get the context, or, go study, religious studies for college to have like the better context. We have tools of understanding. We have the internet. We have things we can go through. And I mean, I think that we just need, like, from a theistic position, we need some fucking better religious text. We need, like, this does not inspire. This does not do good. I don't see the point. It's, and I'm sorry. I know I've said this before. I think it's stupid.
No, we hit stupid today. I rarely use that word because I don't want to be pejorative. I want the Bible to, I want to give the Bible rope so it can find itself. But it just broke me today. There was just stupid. There was a lot of stupid. When we are talking about Rockwater and then God kills a man for taking another, he hit it accidentally twice, and the dude died. His head priest, he killed his head priest for chapters and chapters and chapters because it's like he took an extra sip of tap water.
And this is a thing that, because my view on a deity, on God, if you will, I kind of more lean into a almost like a duality kind of nature to a deity, maybe a little bit polytheistic as well, I guess. But I feel like it's really odd that God is so hands-on in the Old Testament and is so hands-off in current day. So I almost kind of feel like, it's, I don't know. I mean, we could go the science fiction, sci-fi, fantasy route, which I really love, and be like, well, maybe God wasn't actually maybe God was just an advanced alien life form. You know what I'm saying? And they yeeted themselves out. You know what I'm saying? And they're not around anymore.
I'm not saying it's aliens, but no.
I love my sci-fi fantasy. You have to. I'm excited for Dune. I need Dune so bad right now.
That's good.
I'm telling you, I'm ready. Listen. But, aside from going the sci-fi fantasy route, I just think, well, maybe God, God probably, I'm going to speak in in hypotheticals here, just because I know, I'm a theist, but just for the sake of the argument. But if God does exist, maybe God has always been a little bit more hands off, and people are just being manipulative assholes, because we know people have been manipulative assholes. I mean, look at, what has happened. Things like, the child sex scandal in the Catholic Church, things from various points of history, aside from that, we know that people in power can use it for bad things. And we have plenty of proof that people have used power in, the Catholic Church and in Christian churches for bad things. So, from my position, what I hope to kind of impart, on people and like my little one and my loved ones is just like, I think that using the Bible as like literal, this is the word of God, I think is absolutely completely fucking wrong. And I just think that it's such bullshit that we're using this text. Some people are using this text as justification for how they make laws and how we treat people in 2021 America and the globe. And I mean, I'm gonna usually be speaking from more of an American-based, American ethnocentric position, unfortunately, because I haven't been anywhere else. I know about other places in countries, but I have never physically been outside of the U.S. So my apologies to anybody outside of the U.S. But that said, I just think that we could do so much better. Any theists listening, we can do so much better. We can be such better people. And, acting like this, we should be, taking from some of the bullshit that we've been going through on stream, taking after a vengeful interpretation of God, and also, Raffles stomping all over anybody who's doesn't want us in their space, with no consideration. That's not something I want to impart on people. We want to be good to one another. Religion should have a good impact on people. And it's not to say that churches and people of faith don't have good impacts, but there's also a lot of examples of bad. And, it's kind of like my position on policing. People want to say, well, it's the bad apples but it's the bad apples are there. You're not getting rid of them. Anybody who's looking at this who's a theist, we should be fucking shunning some of these bad, negative, toxic positions. And for anybody who's a Christian who's going to say, well, yeah, God is not meant to be, your best friend, so to speak. God is not just, a loving person. Well, then, you know what? Yeet it. Why do we have to have such a dick, interpretation of God, ruling over all of us? I just think, sorry, I know it's I know I'm going to hop off the soapbox here.
No, you're fine. I just want to say, and normally we have two shows that are name ranting, and people are like, oh gosh, I guess I'm ranting. And we're like, no, hey, that's the whole point of the
I know,
show,
I should say this for one of the ranting shows. I know, but it's just, it boggles my fucking mind. And I don't know, like I said, it's 3 a.m, and I'm just like...
Woo-hoo. And so we are actually going to go for about 10 more minutes before we head to the Discord. Here is the link. If you would like to join us, now is the chance. But we are going to start to wrap up, as we have been Skeptic Bible studying on Aaron's death, a fiery serpent, and the edge of a sword. Lots of excitement, but yeah.
I was going to say, is James alive?
No, he's learning. He used to do it. He's as a producer. When you drop and then you try to add yourself in, it minimizes the person that's maximum screened. So I think he was waiting. He knew.
I was waiting.
See the little But yes, we are Skeptic Bible
I
Study.
endured her rant.
Hey, I was gonna say, let me
Social
tell you something,
justice rant.
Amaretto. It sounds like very close to deism, which is, in my opinion, we are trying to get everyone basically to that line, either deism or across the line, because the deists don't hurt anybody. Our founding fathers, well, ignored the slavery, which is biblical, but besides that, we have our Constitution and all that because they were like, hey, you know, Jesus isn't going to take care of us. Maybe we should write a constitution that actually gives us some rights to each other.
Yeah, theocracies scare me a little bit, to be honest. And by a little bit, I kind of mean a lot of it because...
Just a little bit?
Well, again, a lot. When I say a little bit, I mean a lot of it because...
Size matters, Amaretto.
But I mean, it's just the reason being, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, we have, mind you, Nazi Germany was not a theocracy, but the concept of, okay, they're not going to come for me. Oh, now they're coming for me exists in a lot of modern day theocracies.
Oh, they're going to come for you, Amaretto.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to come for me and not in the fun way. You know? And I mean, it's just, I cannot, I will not gel with something where it's, you know, the concept of somebody being persecuted for being LGBT, for being different. I think, you know, that's just not what I'm about. Mind you, I mean, and I say this with a caveat because I know I was kind of the one who started the whole, hey guys, do you see this picture of Claire with the Nazi flag? Isn't that great?
I was gonna just make the Godwin's law. I don't know how.
Yeah, we made it there.
The 3 minutes. 3 minutes. You have to bring
Nazism. Yeah.
So.
I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm German. It's in me. It's my heritage. Although not quite my heritage, because, you know, I was going through Ancestry.com during the pandemic and trying to trace back my family lineage because my dad, I know very little about my dad's family. My dad was kind of estranged from a lot of his family. I was able to kind of find out, and, you know, as someone from German heritage, when you're trying to go back and trying to see where you can, you know, how your family got to America and everything else, I think there's a lot of people who would probably, you know, say, yes, there is that feeling of, oh my God, I hope my family weren't Nazis. And I was able to kind of trace back, yes, my family left Prussia before Nazi Germany. So, hey, I have no Nazis in my family that I know of, at least not my immediate family.
That is a fantastic sentence.
I wish I could say the same for my son. Unfortunately, my son is related, is a distant relative of a Nazi general.
Wonderful.
But one who General Paulus, who led the failed
Godwin now.
Stalingrad, is a distant relative of my son through my ex's family.
Friedrich Paulus?
General Paulus, yes. He actually surrendered he led the
Stalingrad, yeah.
He surrendered and actually never returned back to Germany. He was basically in Russia for the rest of his life, but
they were good at that.
As a prisoner of war?
Same with Confederates. Both of them, very good at it.
Yeah, very good at that. But I can't remember whether he was I think he was a POW, but I think he technically was a defector, though. So I guess with that, he just never left Russia and never went back to his wife. I don't know the finer details of that. But I just know that, yeah, it's I'm gonna have that conversation at some point with my kid and be like, yeah, sorry about that, buddy, but, you know, and kind of use it as a teaching tool and be like, and this is why we want to be better people, because, you know, I also tell people, it's like, so my grandmother was forced to march in the KKK as a kid by her parents, So my great grandparents were in the KKK. And, I guess for me, the way I've kind of
So what you're
taken
telling
that
me is your family skipped the Nazis, but they hit the KKK.
on one half of my family, yes. But, I mean,
Damn
listen,
you.
I think the point, a lot of, listen, I think that the general thing is, I think you can throw a coin, and if you're white, like, not like white, like how like the Republicans define white now, because they would probably call Amy white in some way, shape, or form when it's convenient.
And
We've
so-
talked about this before, but I'm just saying, when you can throw a coin at most like white people who are not of English descent in this country, and you'll probably find some really bad skeletons in their closet.
And
Stranger
this
danger.
podcast would just like to say we do not endorse any political candidates because politics sucks. Screw
Politics
you,
does
politics. You suck. I like.
I endorse politics on my own time. We endorse, but not this podcast does not officially endorse shit. I am just very politically active.
We know.
Woohoo! And
James hates it every time. But no, it's just I think like my big thing is like internal, like to finish my thought and then to kind of to steer it back.
We're going right
Oh,
to
I
you
went off
at
on
your
a
outro.
the thing is to take that kind of thing and to be a better person than what your ancestors were, to recognize that, hey, that shit ain't okay. And if it's, redemption, I'm not saying like redemption in a way like, oh, I must atone for my ancestors' sins, but it's like, nah, like, okay.
I mean,
well,
yeah.
Don't want to be like that. And
to be honest,
it's like
everybody probably has good and bad people if you go back far enough. So, I mean,
yeah, precisely. And it's just like, you don't want to use like, and how many of those people also use the Bible to justify that bullshit? I mean, slave owners, there are white nationalists who use the Bible to justify how they treat people as well. It's stupid. Like, just be better to people. Like, we should be good to one another regardless.
Better.
Hashtag, like, we should actually be better, not like what fucking Melania Trump said. Actually be better. Be better people, not the whole.
The better
Not
campaign is the Atheist Network group. And Tanggang, we're going to an event called Better.
Be best.
Yeah, that was my favorite Charlie Day quote on they asked him, what was his views on politics, and he says, politics, just say no. Oh, okay, but hey, we have been Skeptic Bible Study.
Okay, I thought you were going to do it.
No. On Aaron's death, a fiery serpent, and the edge of a sword. Oh, I absolutely am going to do it, James. Are you ready for those outros? Are you ready to bring in the mimes, James?
Oh boy.
Are they looking a little straight to you? Do they look straight?
I don't know. They
I don't know. Are they super straight? Are they so super straight that they're just going around and like giving a hand job on the part-time?
Like no one's even doing debates on that. Like it was like a week. It was like 2 weeks, and now it's done.
T-Jump regained his sanity.
He's back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in his channel the other day. He's not doing that. Yeah, he doesn't seem. No more super straight debates. And all right.
Oh boy.
With that, I'm sending love to all of the skeptic community, the non-believers, and the believers. You're our brothers and sisters too, but we love everyone here, especially those who consider yourself skeptic, and we are moving out into our outros as we finish up our Skeptic Bible Study. That's right. The spotlight was off, and now it's back on. It's time to wrap up as we had fun talking about Aaron's death, a fiery serpent, and the edge of a sword in our Bible study tonight. I hope you had a good time, Amaretto, and what are your final thoughts?
Always, always. I mean, even though the Bible tends to be kind of a dry read, it's still always fun to kind of learn about it. You know, you have to look through things, folks, with an inquisitive mind. And, you know, especially with something like this text where, you know, like I mentioned earlier, you know, for a lot of us, it kind of understanding it was kind of out of reach. And I think for a lot of people who are your average Americans going to church, I think for a lot of us, we understand the Bible through the lens of a pastor. And I think, you know, the skeptic, like having a skeptic's annotated Bible, like just to kind of have like the language broken down plainly from a not religious perspective is also useful, because it's, I mean, for me, it's hard for me to kind of keep track. And I'm a literature person. I'm a literature person for a while. I did AP English in 12th grade, which for a lot of people who don't know, like that was, we had a Norton's Anthology of Literature, like Old English. So I could read Old English and do okay, but this, like some of the Bible, just nah. But
Nah.
I mean, I listen, like I turned to a Bible, like the last time I read a Bible before this, James, was I picked a random spot, and it was about Lot and his two daughters and how they were plotting to have sex with their dad so they could have kids. And I was just, incest is not wincest. Eat. So
you didn't feel the wisdom of that passage? Yeah.
If we get our dad drunk,
I was like, no.
He'll fuck us.
No.
He will FCUS US. Newman.
No, we can. Darth can embody that lovely. You know, they can have all that. I want nothing to do with that shit.
But Amaretto, who were they going to have sex with? There was no guy other than Dad. I mean.
And it's also why,
I mean, there's always your hand, James. There's always, and listen, if God can put a baby in a Virgin Mary, well, then why couldn't God put put some babies in them? Like, that's my whole thing. I just, the incest is not, no, but you know, to kind of get back on topic, because I can rant about like
incest.
I can rant about it not being wincest for so long, like the internet. It's you know, incest is wincest, and it's like, no, it's not. No, I can't. I'm a parent now. I can't. Like, there's just no way. I can, especially like now, but even like before that, no. No, James.
Or killing your child.
Yeah, like at that point,
I'll give
I'd
him
just
a
be
hand,
like middle fingers blazing. You know, I'd be pulling a fucking Sarah Connor. You know, fucking Terminator on some people. Like that's no. Like, I'm not gonna let you kill my kid for shit reasons.
Cassandra.
You know.
And I just want to make one more point, Amaretto, and then I'll let you give your final word. I think part of the reason why so many Christians don't read the Bible is because of the dryness, and they can't admit it. They can't say, this doesn't interest me. There's a lot of shit that doesn't. It's not compelling. They just say, it must be tough, so I really need to put the work into it. But let me tell you, if it's that hard to get through your freaking scripture,
it's
then
that
your God
hard, Amy.
is. Yeah. I know.
Well, and I think it kind of goes back to, like, you know, we think back historically, the average person in Europe didn't know how to read. It was, you actually had to go into, you know, the monasteries and stuff like that to learn how to read and write and stuff like that. So, you know, historically there has been some gap, I think, that has continued on in terms of like the Bible and how it's you know, phrased, how it's like the Bible, you know, a lot of other like stories and texts, you know, yes, you still have Old English versions that are produced and made, but you also have them broken down way more often into plain or regular English, or whatever language a person speaks in their everyday life. I mean, goodness gracious, I didn't read Romeo and Juliet in Old English. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't read like a lot of certain things from Shakespeare and other older texts necessarily in that same style that it was written. It's basically made for us to be have a better understanding with our current language setup. So I think and I think what, it's in a lot of Christian or religious communities, I think it's seen as like peer pressure, and it's also like a power move. Oh yeah, like people might not have a clear understanding, or they might they not really have read shit, but they'll regurgitate shit that their pastor says. Or let's take it even further, fucking Pat Robertson and all these other preachers that you see on TV, they'll regurgitate the shit that they say and not do the fucking research to see if it holds true. And I think that we should be having more of this, a skeptic, or at least like a more plain language, neutral position, so that we can really understand, because this text was used to create or inspire a lot of laws, doctrine, civil things, not religious at all,
You said laws.
And for people to say that we're a Christian nation.
That's what I heard too, the lulls.
It's for people to say we're a Christian nation, and then the same people that say that and spout like a couple of different Bible verses, but they've never read the Bible. Or they only read certain little things about it. They know like the TLDR version, the too long didn't read, but they don't have all of the context. And this is why, like, we have arguments and stuff like that. People are like, oh yeah, God hates the gays, but it's like the word homosexuality doesn't appear in the Bible. And then if you look also, there's
language.
also interpretations of the Bible that say, well, Jesus may have actually affirmed a gay couple.
Yeah.
He did have a lot of male friends. And okay, we are actually about to head over to Discord. So Mark, sending hearts to you. Now is your chance to head over there and have some more fun. So we're sending love. Amaretto, where can people find you?
You can find me at Amaretto Kitten on Twitter. I'm on the Discord server, and then channel is coming. That's something I guess we also have to talk about in the future. Try and figure out what's going on with the living situation and everything else in the production situation.
Woo-hoo.
I know. Everything's all crazy.
We just gotta figure out what shtick, and I'll produce whatever you want. You tell me, I'll sit in the back, and we can in the back of StreamYard here.
Red tube.
Red tube. Same
OnlyFans.
Peter, I'm starting to understand why Peter does that. I mean, if you are a non-believer out there as well, come on here. Tell us. We are trying to help out the community. I have seen Peter help people. I've seen Oz help people. I can't shout out enough names.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, this community is really great. Like, speaking, like I said, I'm a theist. Peter has even offered me help at some point, and that's
trying to help you.
He'd be a good producer
and this
too.
is the thing. Like, if you're not an asshole, this community is really wonderful. Yes, we kind of jab at each other every once in a while. But in general, we're not bad people, y'all. And the atheists here are not bad people either. It's if you're coming into things with at least some open mind, come hang out. Like, please. Like, I would love to I keep saying this, I keep joking, where it's like a lot of the theists that come on here, and I say a lot, not all, because there are some theists that come on here I do like, but there are a lot of theists that come on here where I'm just like, I hear and I see what they do, and I'm like, I just want to yeet them off the theist cruise. And it's like, I'm gonna go like, how it's either I yeet them off the theist cruise ship, or it's like, just I'm gonna go join the atheist cruise ship, because at the very least, like,
That's right. Water's fine.
you know,
She doesn't bite.
Less you're into that.
No, yeah. And it's just in general, like, I mean, Amy and I wouldn't be partners or have been like, Amy and I have known each other since we were 19. Good gracious. And I think, like, you know, if, you know, we have two opposing positions per se, but there's so much more that you can agree on, and at the very least have good conversation with. So, you know, please, like, other
excellent
people
conversations.
Yes. And I mean, you know, I'm not going to say I always give excellent conversation, because I recognize, I know I make James's eyes roll quite a bit, but
Do you see my eyes rolling?
I can hear it. I can feel it in your soul.
Feel it
I
in my
can
soul.
feel it.
In the
I can feel it. I can feel it through my 5G chip.
You're in my heart. You're in my soul.
And okay, on that note, thank
we need
you
to
so
bring
very
the
much.
preacher back
Aaron.
on to
Woo!
have another interaction.
I was gonna
with
say, you
Amaretto.
know what's funny is that
Please, no, please.
he was actually on. I don't think he lasted our what is it called? It's a mix. It's our Patreon shout outs, but also our housekeeping. And so some theists might find it annoying. I find it cathartic. We get a lot of fun stuff. We get our rants out before we get to the main rants. They're like appetizer rants. And we give shout outs to the people who make this show possible. So
I mean,
send
it is
in
a
love
good leading too, because let's face it, you know, sometimes, you know, notifications on YouTube don't work quite well. I mean, I can tell you as a chat mod, I've seen so many people have come in and been like,
well,
yeah,
it used to be,
notification.
if people would like to know where the timer comes from, you know, when we first started, people would be like, you know, it took us like a minute, 2 minutes before YouTube even caught up. And so the timer kind of allows YouTube to catch up with the reminders and stuff and get everybody on. But yes, we are about to be heading to Discord.
The preacher,
but
yay,
James
preacher,
W. I know.
Preacher.
We're like anti-preachers. It's fun. We have been
Absolutely.
Skeptic Bible Studying, Aaron's Death, A Fiery Serpent, and The Edge of a Sword. The keys. This is your and I ship, James. Help us land it.
Crash landing the ship. Yeah. Get your brass serpent around your stick and wave it around. We had.
Oh my.
Yeah, Robert. You would only be so lucky to be on Amaretto's naughty list. That is, like, people have goals in life, and that's like a goal to shoot for. But if you work really, really hard, you might be able to get there.
Apparently, Rachel says, like, Amy needs to be put on the naughty list. Apparently, Rachel, like, when we were talking the other day, I guess Rachel said Amy needs a punishment. So
Amy looks like she's very worried about it. She's sweating over there.
I'm telling you.
Very good on my knees. You've heard it on the platform. But yeah, wisdom.
Just a gizmo condiment. Yes, Gizmo. I know.
We love the gizmo.
Love the gizmo.
I have seen it funny because, like, I had a cat that looked just like Gizmo growing up. His name was Gizmo, so it gives me. I love seeing Gizmo on screen.
Not Brass Monkey.
Brass Monkey, that funky monkey. And all right,
absolutely. Praise God. We love you.
Praise God.
Praise the preacher.
Praise the preacher. There's so many preachers and pastors.
Well.
And imams and
Amy, the gospel's not just about money, but it is about money. It's about money too.
But the collection plate.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it goes 100%.
You too, Amaretto. Did you make your contribution to Creflo Dollar Ministries?
Nah, I need to wait I'm trying to wait for my paycheck to come in so I can get the Patreon going. Like that'll be the that'll be the collection plate, which, by the way, there's that lovely Patreon link right below Amy's beautiful face.
That's right.
Content, help these two schmucks get a paycheck.
Thanks for shilling for us, Amaretto.
And that's right. You can find our link below, but I hope you all had a fun time on this episode of Skeptic Bible Study, Aaron's Death, a fiery serpent, and the edge of a sword. Oh my, cling, clang, cling, cling, clang. Where in this episode, Aaron finally got to stop taking orders from God. Wink, wink, wink. The same God summoned a fiery serpent. Very spooky.
He's on retirement now.
It's on his retirement plan, exactly. I hope he had a 401k. And the Israelites took many cities by the sword, as you do when you're the good guy. I want to thank my co-host, James W., with our guest, Amaretto, and our awesome mods who make this stream so great. The lovely people in chat and viewers like you. In fact, if you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. And then you can hit that bell icon so you can be part of our live streams. Sup, interwebs. Ba-ba-ba. If you'd like to come join us, we'll be heading to the Discord afterwards to chat with the community, the link of which is in the description below. Finally, if you'd like to help us make even more fun content, we offer unique perks for your support, as Amaretto said, at patreon.com/Amy Newman. I am Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Good night,
Donate
everyone.
for the kitty.
Yes,
Donate
Gizmo
for that
needs some
kitty.
cat food. Cat
Yay.
food. Cat litter.
Mwah.
Yeah.
And Rachel. I have to edit that. Good night.
Praise
lovely.
Rachel.